YouTube Indo's ready to hook in. So it's just going up now. Streaming.
So,
Gagsy, pull the boots on, son. Pull the boots on.
So you let me know when you can see the YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
What are we doing?
so this is just not finding any service,
Yep.
which we don't understand because we've both got full bars. So we loaded up the stream so that they can hook into the stream and get the audio off that station.
Oh, okay.
East Geelong.
It's a bit over my head, Grub. It's not picking up a signal.
You said you can hook into it, so once you've done that, then we can, so you can hand us over whenever you're ready.
Yeah, well, I think they're trying to hook into this so they can...
So we'll just start on the YouTube screening now. We'll just start talking onto the YouTube and tell us you can... Yeah, it will be. That's all good? Welcome to Myers Reserve. Bellpost Hill for the GDFL match of the day. Bellpost Hill versus East Geelong. We're just late in the reserves game at the moment. Yeah, big lead to East Geelong, 14-11-95. Bellpost Hill 3 behinds. We're having a little technicality hooking up to the Pulse radio station. We're working on that now. When we get that in line, we'll be with you on air live from the ground.
Sounds coming through okay.
Yeah, so the sound's coming through. We're ready to go when you are there. Okay, welcome to Myers Reserve for Pulse FM listeners. If everything is working back at the studio, we should be with you live. In the commentary box with me, Robert Cameron, is former Geelong player Dale Smith. Welcome to you, Dale.
Yes, well, good afternoon, Rob, and looking forward to this afternoon's game of footy. As I said, a bit of rain overnight. The middle of the ground is obviously not a place you want to go through today. I reckon just either side of that centre square would be magnificent because the rest of the ground is in very, very good condition. As I said, a few injury doubts for the home side, but let's hope we can get a good game of football. Something similar to what we saw last Monday would be sensational. We'll take anything we can get as we can get a game of football in, that's for sure.
We're just about to introduce the expert commentator for this afternoon, Richard Grubby Cations. Good afternoon, Grubby.
Well, good afternoon, Rob and viewers. And you learn, I think you use expert commentary very, very loosely there. But
now, you said last week that was as good a home and away game as you can remember seeing in the GDFL. So having it repeated or matched or even anywhere near it today would be delightful to think about. But in these conditions, probably not likely. But that was one out of the box on Monday.
well, it was, and I was actually thinking during the week, when you look back at a lot of the finals played over the years, many of them weren't very good. So I'll go one step further. That was as good a game as I've pretty much ever seen, including finals. Don't worry about home and away, including finals, for about 10 years. I reckon it was just a magnificent game, and not I don't know if they'll play again in finals or not. I'd love to see them two. But if these two sides and West are anywhere near them two sides, then we're going to have some great, great games to go and see this year.
It doesn't seem all that long ago, but we saw East host Bellpost Hill in the latter part of last year's shortened season. East were a little bit short on class on that day, matching a very good Bellpost Hill side. So I'm really looking forward to see if Bellpost Hill were they were then, but how much East have improved.
Well, I think a bit of both. I think East have improved a little bit, and I think Bellpost Hill aren't probably quite as good with the loss of Carter and Collins and a few of those blokes. Matty James ain't playing today, and the loss of Attila Sulik. So I don't think they're quite as good as they were last year. But last year we saw East play Werribee and beat them, and with this magnificent little short game precision, and they did it really well. But against Bellpost Hill, there was a lot more pressure put on them, and the game fell apart a little bit at times, because when you play that game, if you don't hit targets, you leave yourself vulnerable. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on this big ground here today. The wind is probably going to play a bit of a part in it, but the actual ground itself, a little bit of mud in the centre. That's because that idiot Brady doesn't roll it properly in the cricket season. But in the footy season, what a magnificent ground after the rain we had. The drainage system these days, if this had been played when I was playing, it'd be mud knee deep. But that's, so it's look, the conditions will be fine, probably except for the wind, and hopefully it doesn't rain. But let's face it, this is such an interesting game. Bellpost Hill were terrible first up, and they've won their next two. They've beaten Belmont and Werribee. East Geelong have won their three, but they've beaten North, Belmont and Werribee. So they're yet to face the other strong teams of the competition. So even though they're telling me that East Geelong's a pretty good side, I want to see it for myself, and we're going to see it here today.
And we'll probably see similar styles. We know Bellpost Hill love to play short, keep possession, and from what we saw of East last year, they've got a very similar game plan, particularly coming out of defence. They switch a lot and kick 15, 20 metres to player on their own. So we're probably going to see a pretty similar style.
Well, we are, and I hope we are, because if you remember that first game, Bellpost Hill didn't use that little system. They were just banging the ball along and hoping for the best, and they went away from their system. So maybe back here on the big ground they'll go back to it, but that's what they've been known for. But let's face it, the Bellpost Hill side of today, and without taking anything away from them, they're not quite as strong as the Bellpost Hill that had that great dynasty. But again, it's not taking anything away from them, because not many sides that I've ever seen are as good as that great Bellpost Hill side.
They have hung out pretty well, that last group. As I said, the new group coming through. Maybe the confidence wasn't there to play that kind of football in that first game, Grub, because as I said, it was completely out of character for them to drive the ball along like they did on so many occasions. And as I said, today they are missing just a couple of their players that did play in that game. Their ruckman, Fisher is
not
out.
playing.
Yeah, so that's a big hole for them to even try to fill. And obviously, I think their ruckman was Fisher, and who was the other bloke?
Bo Burney. He's going to be playing on the ruck today, I think.
Yep. Okay, so that's another one. There was someone else that was out of the side. Who else did they say that didn't play? Yeah, but anyway, it's going to be an interesting game of football. As I said, we got conditions today. If you had said last night we're going to get this today, it'd be sensational. So we've got the conditions to suit. Both sides should play a good game of football. And as I said, maybe a little bit of dampness might have helped Bellpost still a little bit more. But as I said, without having seen East Geelong play, it's going to be interesting just to see how they stack up against Bellpost Hill today at home.
Well, yeah, and with the wind and with the sun coming out now, if it hangs around long enough, by the time we start the seniors and get into the first quarter, the ground will be as good as gold. And the whole grounds and that, I don't know whether they're as good as a couple of years ago. A few years ago, we had a mayor that makes sure the grounds all got upgraded. You know, he's now just back driving trains, I think. I forget his name. But maybe he should have another go at it. We'll get him back into office. But no, look, as I say, very interesting game, because we just don't know how good East are, because yes, they haven't played the other strong side. But we might find out today whether they are good, or who knows. That's what we're here for.
Now, before we go too much further, I must apologise to the listeners. We did advertise this morning that Dougie Hawkins was going to be joining us in the box before the game. Well, unfortunately, with our late start due to the technical difficulties, he's now inside on his earner at the Bellpost Hill Past Players, so we're probably not going to get access to him at this stage, although we haven't given up hope of dragging him out at half time if time allows. But we'll see how we go.
Don't worry about time allows. Well, let's just hope he hasn't had a few too many beers, Dougie. I'll tell you what, he goes back a long way of enjoying a cold one on a hot afternoon.
He does indeed. All right, let's have a look at the other games this round, gentlemen, before we focus a lot of energy onto this particular one. Anarchy, they're certainly better than they were last year, but goodness gracious, they host a very good Bannockburn side this afternoon that we saw firsthand. I imagine Bannockburn will probably, not just because it's a 5-day break compared to 7, but after a game of that intensity, you wouldn't imagine them coming out at 1,000,000 miles an hour at the start. So they might be slow starters, but they should win comfortably.
I definitely think you're on the ball there, Rob. I reckon that's a pretty good call. As I said, it's going to be a monumental task for Anarchy to hold them out all day. But again, we just hope that they can put enough pressure on them during the early part of the game and at least be in games for as long as possible and start improving their current position. But a big task from out there this afternoon for Anarchy, but the Bannockburn boys should get the job done. And I probably think comfortably in the end, but it'll be hopefully a good game for them out there.
Well, I think probably after last week. I'm not sure Bannockburn can play like that every week. I think they got themselves up for Inverleigh, and they might be a little bit stale today. And if they are, the way Anarchy have been playing, they'll push them for a little while. But as you said, by the end of the day, it could be a big win. Probably will be a big win for Bannockburn. But Anarchy in there punching, so good luck to them, and they can only get better. And they have improved from last year. That's all they really asked Daniel Bumworth to do, is improve him, and so far he's done that. But Bannockburn for me.
And Inverleigh likewise, probably pleased they aren't coming up against East Geelong or Bellpost Hill or a team of the like, but they have got Belmont Lions, who have had patches in all of their games where they've been really good. They kicked 8 goals in a quarter after being down by 12 at half time last round, but again, even though Inverleigh might start slowly, they should account for Belmont.
Well, you would think so, and let's face it, and I said it this morning on hashtag, it's okay to have a patch of 7 or 8 goals and do this and that, but to win games of footy, you've got to play 4 quarters, and Belmont haven't yet done that, and if they don't do it today, Inverleigh might be the ones that kick 8 or 9 goals in a quarter because they're capable of doing that. It's at Belmont, which gives them a little bit of an edge. They have a couple of blokes last week, Marnie and Bissett, Jarks back on board, and Jed Evans. With Inverleigh, well, we saw Inverleigh, Muir and Bile. They put Young in their best players. I didn't have him in mind, but they put him in. Filet, I thought, was their best. McEwen, Walsh and Tyquin. They'll be too strong out there. Far too strong.
Yeah, let's hope they have their 9-goal first quarter in the first quarter, Belmont Lions, just to give them some sort of chance to hang in there for a bit longer. But again, as I said, they can display some good periods of football, but as Grubby's already mentioned, you can't do it in one quarter and let the rest of 3 quarters and just expect to win too many games of football. So, yeah, if they can play somewhere near close to 4 quarters, they will run Inverleigh, but Inverleigh will run out on top.
Now, Grubby, you haven't been upbeat about your old side all year, injuries, and probably got a couple more this week. Will Corio fancy themselves to pinch this one?
Well, I think they will, and I don't see why they shouldn't. I did go over to training on Thursday night. I don't think they're going to tag Joel Bennett, which I think at the moment I would. Some of the better sides, they don't have to, because if he gets 40-odd touches, they're still going to beat Corio, but if he gets 40 touches today, runs through the middle and kicks 5 or 6 goals, then they're a real big chance. So I would have thought they would have probably tagged him, but I don't think they're going to. Werribee, well, as I say, they're pretty much, I think they've given up the ghost of making finals already. They've got Heath Buck in charge of the recruiting for next year, and they're really starting for next year now. So they've just got to keep on plugging away. Hopefully for them, they've got to beat the Corios and maybe the Belmonts and Anarchies and North and get 4 or 5 wins for the year. And come next year, I think they'll be a little bit better. Their under-18s are much better. They beat East under-18s, which is a big effort. And hopefully they'll finish in 2nd Division, because you want to play them in 2nd Division. In 3rd Division's not much chop. And hopefully next year. But today, look, if it was back at the Devil's Playground, I'd almost be tempted to give Corio a big chance and tip him. But being down at Werribee, I think they can hold them out.
Just interesting, you've had a week to reflect. Corio, 2 very different halves last week against Winch. Was that more to do with Winch or Corio, do you think, Dale?
A combination of both. I think Winch, when they increased their intensity around the ball and over the ground, then it became a little bit too much for Corio to be able to maintain that level that they played at the first half. Again, as soon as they take that confidence away from those guys, I'm not saying it takes away what they're not trying to do, but some of the things that were working for them in the first half didn't work. So, but they, as I said, Winchelsea's intensity definitely lifted in that second half, and that's the reason that I think they got on top. And as I said, if they had kicked, I think they kicked 3-9 in the third. If it had been 9-3 the game, and the statistics would have looked a lot worse than they were. So again, Corio have got the ability to hang into this game, and I believe that they will go up there and think that they are a great chance. Again, their first half of football is generally good, but it's that pit when they come out after half time, their third quarter. So if they have a good third quarter, I reckon they win the game. So if they don't, well, it's not going to happen.
Okay, we have found a guest, dragged himself out of the home team rooms in preparation for the game. Justin Tarr, coach of Bellpost Hill. Welcome.
Thanks, mate. How you going, boys?
We're going good. We're talking about your team's fortunes, and all we've seen is round 1, and you just a little earlier said that as a coach you probably weren't overly joyed with what was dished up in round 1, and what's improved for you as a group since then?
Oh, mate, everything that could go wrong that day did go wrong. Didn't implement anything that we've been training the whole pre-season, so a bit of a write-off for us. I think it was just a massive kick up our bums to say that if you don't turn up to play in the right frame of mind and bring that pressure, then you're going to get hurt, doesn't matter who you're playing. So yeah, just making sure, doing the basics right, we bring that effort, And then, as I said, if you don't,
you're in a spot of bother. Now, one of the things that your club had a lot of when your playing career was on and you were winning premierships like potting peas was depth. You've lost a few from last year, key players. You had a few come back, but there's a couple more out today. Your seconds have been beaten quite convincingly. How is the depth situation now to keep punching up 22 high-quality senior players?
Yeah, no, the depth's still there. Yeah, we've got some quality players out, but I think our club's always been, one soldier out, one soldier in. It's more about the way we play, not really about the 22 that are out there. Always sort of being the best team as an actual team in regards to team footy and putting your head over it and doing all those basics. So, yeah, we've got a couple out, but the guys that have come in, more than confident they'll play their role.
And the opposition today, I suppose these days with video, you look at them a lot. They were quite good last. They were very good against you at East last year. You were just a class above and snuck away and won by 2 or 3 goals or something. I imagine they probably fancy they're a bit better. From what you've seen of them on video, how do they look as opposition for the day?
Yeah, great side. Definitely really well coached. You can tell they've trained really well in the pre-season. They've got a certain brand of footy they like to play and they stick to it and they do it really well. If you let them get the game on their terms, they'll cut us up and they'll score heavily. So they like to keep possession, change the angles, switch the play. They don't really like to go long down the line too much. So we've got to take that away from them and make it a contest as much as we can. I think if we can make it a contest as much as we can and don't give them that uncontested footy, we'll have a good day. But if we're a bit off in that area, as I said, if we let them get their game going, it'll be a tough day for us.
That first game you played against Thompson, mate, your game style was that short chip, and for me, that part of the game didn't seem to be there on that day. Was that something that they took away from you, that short game, or was it just more that you wanted to get some ground and get the ball down?
No, a bit of both. I think they set up really well behind the footy and their pressure was good, Thompson, so I don't want to take anything away from them, but we just didn't listen to any instructions that day at all. We spoke about lowering our eyes, hitting the short all day, and then we just went out there and we just bombed it long into our forward line. Just what Thompson wanted from us, and we're just really done with the footy. We weren't thinking about what we were doing. I think I was a bit too excited around one. We had no composure whatsoever. So yeah, I think the way we want to play and the way that we did play on that round 1 game, it's completely different. So
I got one question.
yes,
Last week, the rumour going around, obviously forward kicks 10. The ball's coming in pretty well. How many do you reckon you'd have kicked with the ball coming in that well?
2 goals, 8.
I heard you said you'd kick 20.
20? No, 40's a very good player, mate. A lot better player than I was when I played.
Hang on. I've looked through all the records.
Yes.
And I look at all the best on the grounds and everything in all those finals you play.
Yeah.
And every game you played, you're in the best player. So I think you're putting yourself down a bit, Tari.
Well, when you're the best team in it, mate, and you play full forward, you should be playing well.
Still got to kick him.
Justin Ruckman, interestingly, one fell in your lap last year,
Yep.
Brock Carter.
Yep.
He's gone. Round 1, Jamie Fisher was okay, but not what Brock was. You play probably best ruck in the competition in today's side.
Yep.
Do you just have to do things a bit differently in the middle to make sure you're not overpowered a bit there?
Yeah, we just need a contest in there. Fisher's out this week, so we've got Joshua Warrington in and Bo Burney, both pretty inexperienced senior players, undersized. So we're just looking to give a contest in the middle, but hopefully cause some damage around the ground.
Yeah, that's it's going to be an important part of the game. The other thing, of course, lots of forward options for East Geelong. You've had a really good even backline over a long period of time, but a couple of those out today. The players that are coming in, are you confident you've got that back 6 that can keep East under control?
Yeah, it's probably our most inexperienced back 6 in terms of having been playing together for that long, but still got some good players down there. Caleb Basely's moved down to half back and played some great footy for us as well. Josh Andrews that come across from St Mary's been playing some great footy as well. And obviously Bo McNamara still one of the best defenders in the comp, so no, I'm not worried about our back 6 at all.
Yeah, good stuff. Tari, thanks for your time. I know you've got to go. Really appreciate it. Best wishes.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, Tari.
Really good performance. Now we're in a bit of a situation. We're not connected to the station as such, Dale. We're only connected to the YouTube channel at this particular stage, so we can't go back to the station for a break unless someone can improve my technical knowledge. So we'll have to just keep on here. The seconds game has finished. It was a huge win to East Geelong. Scores just gone off the board, but I think they just touched 100, 15 goals, 10 I reckon it was, to Bellpost Hill 3 behind. So there's a big win to start the day for the Eagles, and they clearly have some very good players in the second 18 that can help their senior side. So you've looked at today's senior team been presented, Dale, from East, a few new faces, but they've got a lot of talent there.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's without having seen most of them this year, it's going to be interesting just to sit back and watch, see where they're actually at. So I looked through the reserve side, and there were 2 Hall brothers who were running around in the seconds today, which is probably a benefit for us. So it's just going to be interesting. As I said, they look like they have got some depth through their grades. And again, Belpo still, I think, have been undefeated. Is that right, in their first 3 reserve games? I'm not too sure. I think they know whether they won the first at Thompson. I'm pretty sure they haven't been beaten at this level. They definitely beat Werribee last week,
yeah.
and I'm pretty sure they beat...
And they beat Belmont.
Yeah, so they were undefeated today, and they have kicked 3 points. So it just goes to show that East Geelong are travelling okay, I would think, at this stage, without knowing where they are as well. So,
well, they beat the reserves beat Werribee pretty easy. But Werribee weren't far off beating East. So you can tell in this comp that because of the lack of players, they're bringing blokes in. Shawnee Lewis is hurt. Jaden Etridge played the 2s. Matty Lewis was nearly going to play, I think, and he's nearly 50. But, yeah, look, all the second sides are really struggling at the moment because of the actual numbers and that. But East Geelong have got the depth, and it looks like Bell Post, until I saw this, we're going to have the depth too. But looks like East Geelong, as I always say, they've done a real good job. I reckon they had a plan. They finished, 5th last year, and they nearly played a final because of the COVID stuff. They thought they'd be better this year and a big threat the year after. I reckon they're gone 12 months early. I reckon they're a big threat now, but we'll find out today.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to seeing this one. I'll tell you what, Tari, he's always confident about what the club delivers. He always talks about their system and replace soldier for soldier, all that sort of thing. But when you've played in a successful environment for as long as he has, I don't think it's token confidence. It's just the way he is and the way the club is. They just constantly believe in their ability.
Well, they do. And when we talked about before, are they as good as last year? I honestly believe, and I think most people do, that Inverleigh would have won the flag last year except for COVID. And I think I'm pretty safe in saying that. But if there was a side I thought were going to challenge them last year, it was going to be Belpost Hill at St Albans, the way they were gearing up. But with a couple they've lost and all that sort of stuff, and the COVID and all that, with you can't get enough players, I just think they've dropped the cog. They were terrible the first week. They've beaten just Belpost and Werribee the next 2 weeks. But, as I said before, East have beaten North Werribee and Belmont. So none of them have come up against the real strong sides yet. We'll get a bit of a glance today.
One player that's caught my eye, I had the privilege of spending some time working with him over the Christmas break, Ruben Vesekiro. You've seen him. I know his coach is very upbeat about what he's brought to the club. Ferocious attack on the ball. He's going to play as a permanent forward, and Ben Bosley's really pleased with what he's brought to the group. You've seen him in the past. You rate him?
Oh, I rate him all right. I'm not quite sure as a forward because the last time he was here, he was a non-baller, and he just got it. He just got it. No matter where he come in, there'd be a big pack. Then all of a sudden, out would come Ruben Vesekiro with it, and he could kick the ball. He hit targets, and I thought it was a huge loss when he went. So it's a couple of years ago now, so we'll see today whether he's still got that. If he's going to play as a permanent forward, he may not have the fitness and the strength that he had when he was here last time, but I rated Ruben Vesekiro very highly.
So is Bosley not playing anymore?
No, he's retired.
He has.
Which will probably be good. I think he's coaching even from word coming down from friends of mine up at Birregurra. Very well organised, very good tactician, planned well against opposition, a great watcher of video and getting player-on-player matchups. Very impressed. And the fact that he's off the ground now, not having to worry about his own game, will probably mean that they'll even be better in that space when he can just focus on it totally.
Yeah. Was one of his brothers coming across as well? Did I hear that during off-season or not?
With Vesekiro?
No, Bosley.
Oh, but I don't know. I know Vesekiro brought a couple of players down with him from up at, where was he? Watcham or somewhere up there?
Birchip,
or Watcham.
Yep.
Bircham, Watcham.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a couple of players have come with him, but I'm not quite sure out of that lot who they are. But and while we got a chance, I'll better do the umpires. The umpires today: Des Gahan. We've had him before. Brad Rankin, which I don't know much. I rang Steve Keaton and he wouldn't answer his phone, so I unfortunately haven't got enough info on him. But I do have a bit of info on the last one, and the great the great Cal Clissold. I owe him one because he helped me out during the week. Good on you, Cal. And have a good day, boys.
Gentlemen, before we quickly do, just in a word, we didn't touch on two games that have been played today. North Geelong host Geelong West. Grubby, what do you think there?
I think the way West are travelling, they could be a danger side in the comp. They've picked up a lot of players this year and last year. Braden Mitchell's back, was in the best last week. Who else was in the best? I had it written down here somewhere, but I bloody well lost it. Dye, Edwards, Pearce, Mitchell, Slater, and Ian Alley's been in the best probably every game this year. So good pickup. North are struggling a little bit. They're one of the clubs that haven't got a lot of blokes around. But Farrell, Zach Swennerson, Lukey Parker, Beecroft, West Family.
Yep. Dale?
I agree totally, yeah. As I said, speaking to Butch Shaw and getting conditions like we've got today now, their height and speed across the ground will be far too strong for North Geelong. And I'm not too sure they got beaten by last week, but it could be bigger than that, I reckon.
And the other one is a game which I think, after what we saw in the second half last Saturday afternoon, a Winch going up against Thompson, I wouldn't have given them much hope. But after the end of that game, I thought actually they might be a chance to push Thompson a bit. What do you reckon?
They'll have to bring their second half form. If they start off like they did last week against Corio, they're only 2 points ahead of Corio at half time. And I think if they bring that up, then they'll be a good 10 goals down at half time. So they've got to bring their second half and play it in the first half.
Hit the head on the ball. If they can maintain possession and run the ball down the ground like we know Bellpost Hill can do, then I think that will give them the best chance possible to win this game of football. They will need to be at their very, very best, but again, without having seen what East Geelong have done so far, I think it's going to be a good contest. I think East finish in front, but I don't reckon the margin will be as great as I probably would have first thought.
Key players in the game for you?
Oh, look, it's got to be through the middle. Yates has got to have a fairly big impact. As I said, he's not a carry the ball, but he's a bust of hard nut. He gets in there, he gets amongst it. He's got to be good. We heard that Basely's going to go back, so he'll give that running experience from their back half. McNamara's just got a huge job down defence, so if he can contain, he's going to hold his position and win, I think then they're going to go a fair way because he's got Menzies in the goal square, so that is going to be a big task for him. And again, you would think McLennan was just going to have a ball in the ruck because he's going up against two undersized, and I haven't got the clock because Grubby hasn't got that out of his bag.
And we're into it.
So the ball has gone down. McLennan gets the ball down. He goes back and wins possession, kicks the ball off the ground, picked up by Basely off the half-back line. High tackle, free kick goes to Bellpost Hill. They are kicking towards, I'd say, the city end of Geelong here, but ball goes out wide, and again, in front, ball is picked up, and it's going to be the man that looks to deliver the ball back inside. Missed his opponent, or his teammate, but it's got the handball away. They work the ball to their half-forward line, and again, now the ball in dispute in the forward pocket. East Geelong looking to take the ball back to the goal square, picked up, handball comes over the top, back to Yates. He tries to burst his way through the contest, can't do so. Someone else's tackle, I reckon that might have been a high tackle also, and is going to be a free kick, is it? No, it's not. It's coming back to the umpire, and he will ball it up. So he's got the ball now. He throws it up quickly. Back pocket ball runs back towards the boundary line, and Lemper runs across, and we'll see the ball over the boundary line. So a ball up to take place about 15 metres around from the behind post. Bellpost Hill are into attack. Thrown in by the umpire, and again, McLennan doing the ruck work. He should win most of these today, and the ball is going to be held in that contest. Umpire will come in and take possession, and another ball up to take place. Again, deep in attack for Bellpost Hill. So Washington looks like he's going to do the ruck work down there for Bellpost Hill. Ball is cleared away. East Geelong take the ball back towards centre wing. Bashley just sitting back off the contest, knows where to go and loses the ball inside to Yates. Yates has the ball. And he's outside forward 50, called a play on now by the umpire, goes low and flat. McLennan fills the hole, got a punch away. Coming across was Mann, he caught Bellpost Hill, he couldn't get a clean getaway. I think that's Rich in there. He again is tackled, ball comes out of the contest, they run the ball wide. That's a bit of play, and I think it went out towards McIntyre, got a kick around the ground. Again, Bellpost Hill clean up. Vaserka goes back and the ball comes back into Bellpost Hill forward line. Again, mark not taken. Rich had a hand on it. Hits the ground. Players contest and there's going to be another ball up to take place.
I spoke to Steve Keaton during the week about that umpires calling the play on straight away to give the bloke on the mark a chance. He did that then. Good umpire.
McLennan does the ruck work and again from the fence they try and work it out. Bellpost Hill, there's a number of players around the contest. A free kick has been given. It's going to East Geelong. And Belitho kicks the ball wide over the top. And Sam Lowe has the ball, got it further afield. They've run it to the half back line and now they steady things up. Bellpost Hill covering off down the field. Ball comes back again to Belitho. Is this the jumper they wear all the time or just against Bellpost Hill as an away jumper?
It's an away jumper.
Right up. Across the ground they come to Jacobs. And again, hasn't got the long hair that he usually has, so he's a little bit harder to pick up. The kicking style hasn't changed. Ball goes back to Belitho once again, so he's getting a number of possessions off the half-back line. This time he decides to go straight down the ground. It gets towards centre wing. Numbers there, Bellpost Hill, but East Geelong come out of the contest with the ball. Ends up on the far side, and again it's McIntyre that goes into the forward line. They do that nicely from the half-forward flank. They go long into the forward line. Back there is Vesakuru, and he will take the mark. A little hand in the back. Umpire says that's okay.
Well, the AFL commentators call it using the body well. But let's face it, they don't use the body well anymore. They do use the hands, and you either get away with it or you don't, and he has.
And that's right. So Vesakura now with an opportunity to kick the first goal of the afternoon. And the angle, a little bit to work with, but again, distance well within his capabilities. He goes to the banana, and he has kicked the goal.
Missed it.
He has. You're right, Grub. Good call. First score is a minor to East Geelong, so we have gone just over 3 minutes. And it's one behind to East Geelong. Bellpost Hill are yet to score.
Why don't they go straight back and kick in a straight line? Why do they go a banana from there?
They watch television too much.
I don't understand that. Just go back and kick it straight through the middle of the goals. How easy is it from that distance?
Caleb Bashley has the ball for Bellpost Hill. He kicks out looking for a teammate and coming across taking a very good mark in front of a teammate is Yates. Yates sees Chris Danielle, he can't take the mark, punched away from him. Rich gets it for East Geelong. Quick hand pass to a teammate who's caught. He gets a hand pass away, but Bellpost Hill pick up the crumb. Kicked out in the line, looking for and finding, it's Mann. Yes, Mann kicks forward. He can't control the ball, but gets it to Vaserka. Vaserka in the half-forward flank. Quick hand pass coming over the back of the pack, dodging a player and kicking it dribbly towards goal successfully is Will Ford. The competition's leading goal kicker at the moment. That's his first for the afternoon. Bellpost Hill first. They go to a 5-point lead, 1 goal to 1 point. And we are 5 minutes in to the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
Well, he kicked a big bag last week, and he started off really, really well this week. And he's one they've got to really, really watch. We saw him at Thompson. It was his first game against Thompson, first game for the club. And we thought he struggled that day, but he started to fit in well. And that was really good play right up from the half-back flank here. Danielle involved. Really good team footy all the way up and a great goal to Bellpost Hill.
We didn't get your tip before the game. You were distracted, Grubby?
East.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. They're working hard. And again, it's going to be picked up. The free kick has been awarded. It's going to a Bellpost Hill. And this is Sable. Sable just looking to decide where he wants to go with the ball. Kicks and he basically goes straight down the ground. Ball gets out the back of the contest. Whitney leads in the race, picks the ball up, got the handball away, went towards Mann, intercepted there. I think that was Costello, couldn't pick it up cleanly, so again, ball in dispute. Head over his ball there is Jacobs, got the ball back, so they run the ball back and that was low. The kicks ball out of defence, back towards centre wing. Good strong mark in front, and that's young Melverhill. There is brothers, aren't they? Did you say, Rob, twins or something?
Now, their mother has said it's the A silent. It's Mulville. So we'll have to remember that.
Mulville. Righto. Run machine goes inside. The mark is taken inside the centre square.
Oh, that's 50. He's run straight into the 5 metre zone.
Again, Washington with the ball, a bit undecided where he wants to go, and he's still looking for some option. He decides to come out wide, will be okay, so he comes back towards Muir. He takes the mark, a short player further down the field. Mark again, possession game. As we know, Bell Post Hill can play. Sable now, he runs, carries the ball, goes low into the pocket, forwards out. Ooh, had one hand on it, but the ball has been knocked over the boundary line, and we're going to have a throw-in to take place just inside forward 50. So the umpire's about to restart play. Said Tim McLennan will do the ruck work and has a definite size advantage. Yates did push the hands in the back, and a free kick has been given. This time it will go back to McLennan. So inside his defensive 50. Asked a play on now by the umpire, so he comes out towards centre wing. Both players hands up. More second grab at the ball. Umpire says play on. McGrath gets the handball over the top, but that is going to go over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in to take place. Again, just forward of centre wing for Bell Post Hill. We have gone. It's nearly 7 minutes, and it is Bell Post Hill 1 straight goal. East Geelong 1 behind.
So throw in. McLennan is in the ruck against Burney. Neither player gets a positive possession out of that. Comes down to the ground. Vesicura for East Geelong grabs it. He's grabbed high, and he will quickly play on. Gets into the middle of the ground, and Sam Lowe in the distinctive long sleeve jumper marks almost in the centre of the ground, looking to get East in attack. Not many short options. He's going to have to go across and concede ground. He kicks it across to Ali Mars in the half-back flank. He kicks down the wing and finds his teammate there in Ryan Lemper, who's been a very, very good player for East for quite a while. He finds a man free in the middle of the ground, and that is Belitho. He kicks across, looking for a teammate. Very clever little flick on, gets it back into the path of Jacobs. He gets it across to his teammate in Crombie there, I think it is. The umpire said free kick, and it'll be Harley Jacobs for East Geelong. It'll take it centre wing, far side of the ground. It'll be very windy over there, a bit of shelter this side, but out in the elements over that side of the ground. Kicks not really to advantage of teammate there. Bell Post Hill have got a better run at it, but East pick up a crumb. Quick kick forward. Menzies overruns the ball. Tackle very quickly from behind. Bell Post Hill defender. They lose the ball. East come out, get the ball. Quick snap over the shoulder, but it only lands as far as Flacavento, and he clears for Bell Post Hill. Out to the centre wing, past his teammate there, Vasirka, and across the line. We'll have a throw in, far side of the ground. East Geelong are 1 behind Bell Post Hill, 1 straight goal, and we're 8 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
Be interesting to see what Vesicura is doing. He was up here a minute ago, but I think he was just going off the ground for a spell when he saw the ball up here, so we'll just find out.
So ball's thrown in again. McClellan was grabbed from behind. He's certainly having an advantage over these younger ruckmen, Warrington and Burney. And at this stage, he's starting to have some influence already. He kicks long into the pocket. Menzies comes out, but it lands in front of him, trickles over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. It's around 40 metres from the East Geelong goal. They're in attack. They've only been in genuine attack once before for their 1 scoring point. I would say Bell Post Hill are controlling the game at the moment. Ball's thrown in. McLennan again and Burney. Burney's grabbed McLennan from behind again. He concedes yet another free kick, and this is proving to be costly for the inexperienced ruckman. McLennan kicks deep into the forward line, coming out a pack of players, punched away. East Geelong in front. It's Lowe who gets a quick kick. Ball's punched forward, loose of the pack. Coming out for East there is Crombie, kicks it across his body, and it's forced through for a 1 behind. They're second for the afternoon, 2 straight points to 1 goal. This is the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
So the ball, Timiu in the back pocket. He delivers the ball further afield. Rabbis on the field now. And he goes short over the top. Has a player further afield. Fantella. Again, they've got players further down the field. Hasn't moved it on quickly, so he's just held things up a little bit. Just waiting. Now he decides to go and kick long. And I reckon that might be very wide.
Oh, it's almost in here.
And free kick will go to East Geelong. And Belitho will be the recipient of the free kick.
Going to throw it in.
So Belitho now kicks back into the middle of the ground. Kick was okay. Lemper couldn't take the mark. Picked up there. Harmer got the handball away. Put his teammate under a little bit of pressure. Went back. Tries to get it again and does so. Just decides to put it on the boot. They need a contest out here. Jacobs read that nicely for East Geelong, and he will settle things down and put East Geelong back into attack. He decides to go long. And that's going to be to the forward line. Again, Mark not taken down there. McNamara coming across with a flight of ball. Basically decides just to kick it through for another rush behind. So that's okay. East Geelong to 3 behinds now. Bellpost Hill are just the one solitary goal. And just on 11 minutes, Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Could have a bit of a problem here with Staggart, Braden Staggart. He had a bandaged wrist and now he's really holding it. So he might have done a wrist here.
Ball in the back pocket. Bellpost Hill in possession, defending very stoutly. East have started to get a little bit more control in the last couple of minutes. And Bellpost Hill with their backs to the wall. Kick down the line. Coming in front of the pack, though, taking a very good mark for East Geelong is Austin Mulville, one of the half a dozen teenagers on the ground, or 5 at least. He kicks neatly into the forward line, looking for his good mate Menzies. It goes over the back of the pack after he was pushed during the contest. Muir from Bellpost Hill gets it quickly across to a teammate, slapped onto the boot and driven forward. It's going to be picked up very nicely on the half volley, but dropped almost immediately as he picked it was Andrews. Kicked out in the wing, and Bellpost Hill have found some space here, and it's Danielle. He kicks down the line, and coming across to take a chest mark is Rabus, or Rabus if you prefer. He's got the ball right in front of us on the centre wing. He's looking for some options, not much happening up forward. So he kicks down the line. There's a pack of his teammates there going up to his man. He can't hold the mark. Comes over the back of the pack to Costello. Neat little kick from him. Bounced off the chest of a teammate and dribbles over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Bellpost Hill 1 point, East 3 points, and we've just gone past 12 minutes into the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter.
Nice little handball out there by Sam Quinn. He read that in the middle of the pack pretty well.
So the ball's thrown again. McLennan and Warrington. It comes down to McLennan, does his own work. He's knocked out of the road, and he hasn't hit the ground and hasn't moved very far at all, the big fella. And the umpire is deemed to be a ball up.
No, he hasn't. He's played on the ball.
Has not moved, McLennan.
And
the umpires held the game up.
The Bellpost Hill players are going over to him to see if he's all right, so they're a little bit worried too.
I reckon he's collected a knee or something on his way down, and he's hit the deck, just looking very, very groggy at the moment. He's been quite dominant early, and his 2 young opponents have sort of struggled with him a bit, so he certainly can't afford to lose him, but I think at this stage he might need some time on the bench to get his composure. So it's Bellpost Hill to have the footy. They've won a holding the ball decision, and it is Jordan Sable, who's been in pretty darn good form lately.
He
got
has.
The ball.
Yeah, he has. He's had a pretty good year, actually.
And it's McLennan, who with towel over his mouth is coming off the ground very, very slowly indeed. Hopefully, for his sake, it's only a little bit of a split lip and not any concussion. But
well, that's the big part.
He did hit the ground and didn't move for quite some time.
If he's got a split lip or whatever, they can stitch him up or whatever and get him back. But concussion, he'll have to stay off these days.
So it's Sable now. Runs around and kicks it into true centre-half forward position. Pack of players go up. Costello quickly snaps forward. Ford can't hold the mark. He's dragged down very quickly. The umpire says he was held longer than he needed to be, and he will receive a free kick for holding the man. He's going to be kicking from about 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle, lining up for his second and his team's second for the afternoon.
Well, I reckon I was close enough there to just watch him, and I reckon he's got a big cut, but I don't see any concussion there.
So fingers crossed he's okay. So Will Ford, he's leading the competition goal kicking already, 10 last week, and he has 2 to start this game today, and gets his side out to a 9-point lead. 2 goals straight, 12. East Geelong 3 points. We're 14 and a half minutes, well actually 15. I was a bit late starting the clock into the Buckley's Entertainment first quarter. Dale, if McLennan's off the ground for any length of time, do you think it'll have any effect on the game?
Well, it might even up the ruck contest, Rob. It'll make it easier for Bellpost Hill. But as I said, without, he looks like he's okay. Like he just seems to have that cut on the, I reckon, on the lip.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
you know, it's hard to tell. But I got a close look at his eyes. It didn't seem to be blurry, but let's hope not.
Jaden Fanning had been playing on forward. He's gone into the ruck now.
Well, that might bring Bellpost Hill back into the contest, in the ruck contest anyway, because he was killing them.
Yeah, well, Fanning's got that one out again, so the ball now pushed forward. It picks those, goes to, I think it's Crombie that had the ball. He's tackled, brought to ground. And again, umpire in very quickly, and he will take possession of the ball. End of the cricket pitch here at Bellpost Hill, so still in the centre square. Ball thrown up again, ball tapped out the back, and again, Belitho gets the ball away, goes to Low. Low goes looking for Vesicuro. He's out in front. Muir's done okay at this stage. Vesicure just worked him past the ball, got it back towards Crombie, who actually pulled it back underneath himself. Needs to get it out. They've got running players coming past now. And again, Belpo still doing a good job just to keep possession or keep the ball in under the contest. They've been able to do that now, force a throw up or a ball up. And we're going to have that now just inside their forward 50. Warrington doing some ruck work. Menzies out, reached over the top. Again, trying to work his throw through his Harmer.
Legged him.
Oh, no, dropping the ball, he said. I think you might have been right the first time, Grub. I thought it might have been a bit of leg. But
well, I thought the tackle dropped down to the leg. Yeah, usually they'll pay that. But I think Cal was a bit blindsided. He might not have seen it. It wasn't Cal, but he might not have seen it. But I would have thought he legged him, and the free kick should be going the other way. But
so Billy Andrew is going to kick for goal. Where's he been from, do you know? He was not a St Albans bloke, is he? No?
No, I don't think so.
Billy Andrew? Not too sure. The name rings a bell, but I just don't know where from. So Andrew now comes in. Kicks at goal. It's nice off the boot. It is going to hold its line.
Goal.
Yes. And has gone through for a goal. So East Geelong have their first goal of the afternoon. They move to 1-3. Belpo still are on 2 straight goals. And we have gone just in 17 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
Well, I haven't got the other book, so I don't know where he's from. I've seen him in their ins, and it doesn't matter where he comes from. He can kick a football because that's a pretty hard shot for goal out there. Possibly a bit lucky to get it, but you take everything you can get these days, and that they needed that goal. I don't know which way the wind's blowing. It's hard to tell. It's not coming in here, so it's not going across the ground.
When I came out of the car, it was going towards the vehicle having the pocket there.
So in other words, Belpo still probably have the slight advantage of the wind.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. Back in the middle now, it's Fanning again. Fanning's been for 3 tap-outs, won them all. This one, though, to the advantage of Belpost Hill, half-back, coming off. He's tackled very quickly, getting across to Fantella. He kicks wide out in the wind, looking for Circa. He's in chase for the ball. He overruns it a little bit, uses his body well to get back in the line, picks it up neatly, hand pass forward to a teammate in Baseley. Baseley kicks down the line, looking for Mann. He can't hold the mark. Rich picks up the ball and runs it over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in about 60 metres around. Belpo still in attack. They currently lead by 3 points here at the Myers Reserve Oval.
Needed to mark that. Had a few blokes running down towards goal.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. Warrington goes back, collects the ball, needs to get the ball out, does so now. And again, they try to move it forward, but numbers are with East Geelong. The umpire says there's a throw, so it's going to come back. Free kick to Belpost Hill. And it's going to be Fantella there on the far side of the ground. So Fantella now goes low and into the forward line, coming out. Marcus taken out there. Dill Whitney's got it. Left footer from that pocket will be a
very difficult.
Shot.
Very difficult. And I just heard a bit of a report that, yes, he did have a split lip, McLennan, but he might have had a cut ear as well. So that makes it a little bit more dangerous.
So Dill Whitney now, forward pocket. Kicks that goal.
No.
And he's not going to be very close at all. It's going to be out of bounds on the full. So that's a bit unlike Dill. But he's... they've got the ball in their forward line now. They need to maintain a strong defence to keep it in. So East Geelong with the free kick, back pocket. Mars, and he's going to deliver the ball. He goes long, outside their 50. Nice looking kick, got outside. Mark wasn't taken out there by McGrath. The ball runs over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in to take place in between half forward or half back centre wing for the East Geelong side. So again, a little bit of a chance now as Bernie goes across to do some ruck work. And he's going to be up against Fanning. Fanning taps the ball down. Belpo still win possession from the contest. Again, ends up in the hands of Baseley, goes across the ground. Mark has been taken out there this time by Staggard, and he goes further across the ground towards Muir. Rich coming across the other way, gets the ball, goes to Vesicuru, takes a bounce, a little bit of confidence. Ball didn't come back to him. Man did nicely. Lowe picks it up, gives it back to Vesicuru. Little smart kick round the body, and its mark has been taken. They play on now through McGrath. They go to the far side of the ground. Now the runners are coming through the contest. This time it's picked up by Hoare. Went one way, back on the left foot, kicks towards goal. McNamara comes across, got his hand on it, couldn't control the ball. Going back was Baseley. And again, they have it in the goal square. Need to knock the ball through. It's still at the top of the square. Umpire will come in and take possession. And we're going to have a ball up right on the 10-metre line. East Geelong's attacking end. So the ball thrown up. taken out of the ruck contest, and that was far too easy because McGrath has just put it through for a major, and that will give them the lead. They are now 2-3. They lead Belpost Hill on 2 straight goals. 21 gone, first quarter. Buckley Entertainment Centre first quarter scoreboard.
You really can't let a bloke do that, can you? That's just, that's just not good enough. You got to be on your guard a little bit more than that. I watched Vesakuru. He is playing as a permanent forward until about this time, and then he wanders up, has a quick run on the ball, and then goes off the ground. So that's what he's done twice now. Come up here, had a couple of touches, and then ran off. They're actually that's the way they're rotating him at this stage, East Geelong anyhow.
Okay, ball back in the middle. Fanning has been doing a very good job. He's in the ruck with Burney. Neither player really gets a hand on the ball there. Coming through hard is Lamper for East Geelong. He can't get it away. And Belpost Hill quickly kick it forward. Whitney cleverly gets it across to Costello. Costello, neat little pass in. Ford slightly overruns the ball, but the ball's back live for Belpost Hill. Gets it across to Lemper. He kicks in the middle of the ground, looking for Crombie. He can't control the ball. Coming through strongly for East Geelong there. Defender gets it out. Hand passes. McGrath comes up from the half-forward line. Gets it across to Crombie. He kicks down the line looking for his teammate in Watson Searles. He's come across from St Albans this year with Smith. The pair of them have been very handy in the forward line. Gets it down there. Lemper comes through again. Kicks very neatly into the forward line. Slaps into the post. And 1 point only to the East Geelong side. They go to 2-4 now. Belpost Hill 2 straight goals, and we're 23 minutes now into the first quarter.
So the ball goes out quickly, and Yates has taken a mark just outside there, the defensive 50. And after a good kick in from Muir, so they now look just to maintain possession. He decides to go long though. Teammate out there is Burney. He's up. Ball from behind is spoiled, and it was through his opposition player in Fanny, and the ball goes over the boundary, so we'll have a throw in on the far side of the ground. Centre wing position. Fanny and Burney are doing the ruck work. Lemper's coming in from behind now, but front position's held by Burney. Goes back to the front of the contest. Crombie was there. Couldn't see who the Belpost Hill player was, but he's fed it out the back. Space is Baseley. He goes back by hand towards Fantella. Fantella around the body to the half-forward line. Coming through was Rich. Kept the ball in front of him, but now it goes back towards Blythe, who was running away from goal. Kick round the body. Interception there from Belpost Hill. And again, Harmer puts his head over the ball. The circuit won it. Goes to Costello. Harmer goes back and has got the handball back again. They move the ball pretty nicely. They just can't take clean possession. Still can't get clean possession. The quick kick into the forward line. Goes towards the pocket. Coming out. East Geelong with some numbers back there, and again Belitho from the back pocket decides just to go long, gets him out of trouble. Mark not taken out there by Lemper. Ball goes back towards the boundary line, and that will be what will happen with the umpire to come in and take possession of a throw in. 24 minutes gone, first quarter, and we see Belpost still 2 straight goals. East Geelong on 2-4.
The boundary umpire's got the ball. Fanning has done a pretty good job filling in the ruck. He concedes front position. Burney gets it down. Belpost Hill run is coming. It's Burney himself who follows up, trying to get possession. Ripped away from him. East Geelong grabbed the ball, but over the boundary line, the central umpire has found a free kick, and it's going the way of Belpost Hill. It looks like Whitney,
Kerins? Maybe Kerins.
No, Kerins has got it, yep. So he kicks into the forward line. He'll be looking for Ford, who's red hot today, but Fanning's dropped back in front of the pack and takes a relieving mark for the Eagles. He's in the back pocket, kicks it across and finds Mars, who's about 25 metres out, defending the goal. It's gone a little further down the line, and Helmore comes out to mark for East Geelong. He kicks it across to Rich. He's got a bit of space. He releases Mars with a handball. He runs through centre half back now, kicks long down the line. He'll be looking for Sam Long. He can't hold the mark. Belpost Hill's Muir grabs it. He's tackled immediately. The umpire will come in. We'll have a ball up. It's just level with the centre square. They'll be about 60 to 70 metres out. East Geelong slightly in attack. We're 26 minutes into this Buckley's first quarter, so there's a little bit of time left. Over the back of the pack, Crombie tries to run onto it for East. Can't get away. He's dragged down immediately. Players aren't going anywhere, and I think we're going to have another...
No, we're not. He's dragged in, he reckons.
He's pinged him, and it's Muir for Belpost Hill, who will take the free kick. He's kicked down and found his teammate in Sable. Sable quickly across to Danielle. He kicks forward. Ford comes out, overruns the ball. Mars has done a very good job so far. Gets it for East Geelong, runs over the boundary line, and actually puts his hand up, waits for the boundary umpire to catch up and blow the whistle. But we'll have a boundary throw in just near the scoreboard, which shows East Geelong 2-4, Bellpost Hill 2 straight goals. 27 minutes into the first quarter. The Buckley's Entertainment first quarter here at Myers Reserve.
And as we said last week, this 50 is 50.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is a big ground. Ball bobbles down the bottom of the pack. Sable grabs it. He can't break free. Comes out a little bit further, but the umpire eventually calls for a ball up. Yeah, you don't want to be lying on the ground with the footy underneath you today, it would appear. They've got 3 of them already, Grub.
You actually, though, have to drag it in, I thought, anyway. But
Fanning gets a hand down, not really clear of the pack, but coming out is Rich. He gets across to Mars. Can't get clear of the congestion, though. Danielle quickly kicks it forward for Bellpost Hill. A couple of their teammates looking to get through. Coming through the pack strongly, Sable. Can't get it through. Fumbled by Ford. He hand passes, but to no one. East grabbed the ball over the back of the pack to Danielle again. Brilliantly smothered. He East gets a it's funny-looking hand pass. Doesn't go too far. The umpire missed that, I think. It's just a scramble at the moment. The umpire's seen a high tackle. And East Geelong's defender, I think it's Ryan Lemper. Yes, Lemper releases the ball, kicks across ground, and finds a teammate there in Mulville. That's Austin, one of the twins out there today, into the middle of the ground to Rich. Rich to McGrath. McGrath kicks down the line over the back of the pack where Zach Smith tries to get it. It's basically mopping up for Bellpost Hill. Oh, he's dragged down. Got a hand pass away very quickly. Luckily, Flacavento picks it up but runs over the boundary line. I think basically had a bit more faith in his ability, and that was a very fine tackle there, I believe, by Zach Smith, wearing the very unusual number 88 today for the East Geelong side.
His off-the-mark pace there was just basically didn't realise it was going to be that quick.
Yeah.
Get him to him that quick.
So over the back of the pack, coming through for Bellpost Hill there is Andrews. He kicks down the line. Teammate trying to get onto it. It's Muir. He can't get away. No, it's actually Mann. Sorry. The umpire said he had it too long. Mars has got the ball now for East. A neat little pass into the forward line, and McGrath takes the mark. He's inside the 50, but I think with that breeze the way it is, he might struggle to get the distance, although he's backing himself to do that. He probably kicked from right on the 50-metre line, I reckon. And he's on a, well, be tighter than 45-degree angle on the wrong side of the ground for a right footer. But he's confidently going back as the quarter-time siren sounds. So it's McGrath. He's got underneath it like a 9-iron, and it's going nowhere. So there's no score to end the quarter, which sees Bellpost Hill 2 goals, 12 behinds. East at 2 goals for 16. Goal kickers?
Yes, this stage of the game, Bellpost Hill has got Will Ford with the 2, and East Geelong's 2 are McGrath and Billy Andrew. I'm not too sure. Would you take a short break?
Well, we've got nothing to break to because we're not. I don't believe we're connected to the studio unless someone tells me different. So we can't go back to ads. But Grubby, could you give us a little update that on while I get in touch with Steelo and see what's going back on there?
Well, not really, because I haven't had time to do me best players. But I will give you an update on that last kick. I was always taught if you're coming in to kick it and the siren goes, stop, go back, and do it again. Because it's, you've just, although it was a fair way out. But look, entertaining quarter. I'd love to know exactly which way the wind was going, and I'd hope it wasn't anyway, because then we've got a really close game. But if it was going the other end, then obviously East are in front. But look, they didn't start off that great, although they won all the tap-outs. And when McLennan went down, I thought, oh, well, that might bring it back. But Fanning went into the ruck and did just as well as McLennan. So, look, I didn't see anything special just yet. Maybe, and obviously we've got 3 quarters to go, but, it obviously isn't quite as good a game as we saw on Monday, but we're not going to see one of them for a long, long time, I don't think. But, Smitty, you have a bit of a say on what you reckon. I'm going to sneak through me good players.
Well, I agree, Grub. As I said, neither side has really had a patch where they've controlled the game for any long periods. It's just been a game of possession. The ball's gone up and down the ground. Probably the goal that East Geelong got through McGrath was probably a bit of a gimme where he just come through the contest that close to goal and was able to kick the goal. But other than that, I think both sides have played some good football without actually being sensational. So it's been a contest. I probably played a fair bit from the defence, and they've been able to get players out and run. But look, to be honest, Grub, as I said, probably evenly matched size at this stage, and without them going too much further, I'm not too sure what to expect. I think East Geelong can probably obviously play a little bit better. Belpost still are going to be limited with their ruck contest because they've only got two blokes that are only, wouldn't they be 6 foot or might be 6 foot?
Oh, just if that,
But
yeah.
McLennan
is a bloke that's 6'6" or 6'7", and he's off the ground at the moment, so that might even things up for the Belpost Hill side and give him a bit more of a chance in the centre contest. But Fanning did go in there and did some nice work, and was probably one of their better players towards the end of that quarter.
I'm nearly there.
Nearly there, mate.
I'm nearly there.
Well,
That'll do me for the minute. Yeah, look, very hard to pick good players because of the type of game that it is, but I just saw it for Belpost Hill. Vasirka was pretty good. Chris Danielle had a bit of the footy. Josh Andrews, as we saw in the first game, he can play a bit. Dylan Whitney didn't have a lot of the ball, but a couple of those nice little deft taps, I thought they look really good. He's not 100%. He hurt his left hip. No, sorry, his right hip at the Thompson game, but he's hurt his left hip since. And he got down very early in the game, something that he probably didn't want to happen. Sable, again, he's playing pretty good footy as well. For East, I thought Sam Lowe always does a good job when we're here, and probably every week when we're not here. He's been playing okay. I think probably their best player might be Belitha, and there's only one playing in it. The other bloke's retired.
Yeah, no, did he retire or go somewhere else?
Well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's not here.
The other bloke used to be thrown to the midfield, didn't he?
Yeah, well, this young Josh Belitho, he's had a pretty good quarter. Fanning came in at a good quarter. Austin Mulville had a pretty good quarter. Lemper, he's had a pretty good year so far, and he's continuing on that today. And Vesikuru just does enough. He comes in, I think he's going to get stronger as the game goes on, but as I say, them trees, it's sort of hard. They're blowing left, right. I don't really know. Hopefully it's to no advantage, and that means we could have another cracker on our hands out here today at the Ring Road.
It's I think it's slightly favouring the City end, to be perfectly honest, but one of us might have to have a wander out to the middle of the ground at half time to get a good handle on it, but I think that's the way it's leaning at this stage.
Well, you have a bit of a chat, and I'll do all the legwork again.
Oh, that's convenient.
You can find out how Tim McLennan's going while you're out there, please, Grub. Give him 2 jobs while he's out there. So the situation is that Pulse listeners will be hearing some sponsorship announcements, but we'll stick with you on the YouTube. We don't have connection with the station yet, but our technical genius is working on it as I speak. So Dale, if McLennan doesn't come back, means Fanning's got to do most of the ruck work. He's been going all right at the moment. The other important thing is, do they miss out in a backman? So the situation is that Pulse listeners will be hearing some sponsorship announcements, but we'll stick with you on the YouTube. We don't have connection with the station yet, but...
Oh, well, listen to you, Rob. I thought that was coming from the studio then.
Now I'm really confused. We're working on delay a bit. So Dale, if McLennan doesn't come back, means... Hey, we are back here at the Myers Reserve Belpost.
All right, over to you now, boys.
Thank you, mate. Myers Reserve Belpost Hill match of the day. Technological breakthroughs have been made, and we're now connected to the Pulse Studios, and we are genuinely live from the ground. It's quarter time at the moment. Belpost Hill, the 2 straight goals. East Geelong, 2 goals, 4. We believe that East Geelong probably were kicking to the non-scoring end. Grubby's out doing a little bit of a weather report at the moment. But, yeah, sorry about that before for YouTube listeners and station listeners, but we were out of sync with a little time delay. But all is good now, and we are back to normal. Dale Smith, it is a very interesting first quarter. A bit sloppy play, but I imagine that wind is probably playing havoc out in the middle of the ground that we're not feeling here on the sidelines.
Yeah, well, as I said, Robert's just something that's going to take a little bit of time to get used to. As I said, with the ground the way it is, and as I said, it's surprisingly, I walked from across the ground coming quarter before the game. The centre patches you can see is going to get cut up, but the rest of the ground is in magnificent condition. You wouldn't even know it's been raining up here last night. Yeah. So the conditions there, other than that bit of a breeze, as long as it doesn't get very, very windy, we should be in for a good contest. So I think they'll be able to score at both ends of the ground. I don't think it's going to matter too much. East Geelong, definitely, if they were going into the breeze, didn't have any trouble in kicking some distance, and I think that would hopefully continue along the way. So, I'm not too sure if we got our app up with other scores.
I'll get them. Scoop-cations, he's back. He's been out for a weather report and an injury report. Grubby, how'd you go?
Well, let's go for the weather report. Doesn't look good for East because the wind's blowing that way. As long as you come from this side. It's blowing straight across down there. I'll walk straight into it. You come from this side, you'll kick some goals. McLennan's gone to hospital. It's a deep cut and he's going to get stitches. Depending on how long it takes, he may be back.
So the ball has been thrown up in the middle of the ground and we're back in action here now. As I said, the ruckman was going to chase the ball down. I'm just having a look at this quarter time. Hopefully I might have one here. Actually, East Inverleigh and Belmont Lions are 4-2 apiece at quarter time. So that's a good start for the Belmont Lions. But back here at this game, the ball has gone quickly into the forward line, picked up in the forward pocket. And the ball is kicked around the body. And Zach Smith, he has kicked his first goal of the afternoon, and a positive start there for East Geelong in this second quarter. That's 3-4 now, East Geelong, 2 straight to Belpost Hill. And by my clock, we've gone just over 40 seconds in that first quarter.
That was a quick one. And actually, while I was out there getting an injury report, I actually had one ear on the coach, and they were very, very disappointed with their first quarter. They believed they did kick with the wind, and they couldn't get it out this side to have shots for goal where they wanted to. So Belpost Hill played a great defensive quarter, and I think Belpost Hill might have thought, well, let's go and see if we can kick a couple now. But unfortunately, East Geelong have got one against it.
So back with the umpire again. Fanning doing the ruck work on the game. Ruckman go at it. Fanning taps the ball down. They clear the ball through the middle of the ground. They go forward quickly into the forward pocket. And Marcus not taken there by Smith. Vesicura read it off the contest. Very nice. He got the handball back to Crombie. Crombie got the handball out further. And again, they run back towards Vesicura. Dives on top of the ball. Players out the back. He does so now. And that is Andrew. Left foot smothered. They go back. Mulville got the ball. And they ends up in the hands there of McIntyre. He goes short. And that's a good kick. And Crombie, I think it is, has taken a mark about 35 metres out from goal, almost directly in front. He'll go back and kick towards goal.
Big danger signs here.
Wally's lining up and round the ground. The app is up to date. Corio 25, Werribee 15. Inverleigh and Belmont locked at 26. Bannockburn didn't have a slow start. They're 6-8, 44. Anarchy are 4 behinds.
So ball now comes in and it's Crombie kicking towards goal.
That's
the drop wasn't that good. I can see that right from when he let the ball go, and it's through for a minor score. So 3-5 now to East Geelong. A bit of a let off there. Belpost Hill are 2 straight, and we've gone just 2 minutes into this second quarter with Benny Muir going to do some more kicking in. He goes out wide, long. So there's a bit of distance in that kick. So Yates went up, had the first at it, tapped it down. That was nice play. Again, goes back now and they collect the ball again. Muir's come up from the fullback position, kicks out wide. He'll need someone to get to the contest because out there the mark has been taken, and it's East Geelong, the ball. A short kick further afield. They maintain possession, so they're just outside their forward 50 at the present time. Umpire now asks the player to play on. He goes back into a dangerous position. Means he's up in front, and that was a nice jump at the ball, and he has taken the mark. Not sided hardly in that first quarter, but now means he's an opportunity to kick the 4th goal for East Geelong. I think that kick might have come in from Lemper from the boundary line. So Menzies now from the forward pocket, runs towards goal, gives himself a bit more to work with, kicks that goal, and I think he likes it, and so does everyone else off the boot. It's going to be their 4th goal of the afternoon. They moved to 4 goals 5. And as you said, grubby early signs in this second quarter. 4-5 to 2 straight. And we have gone just over 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, well, they just haven't been past the centre. They've got all the clearances, and they just look $1 million at the moment. A lot better than they did in that first quarter. We were talking about depth before. I think Inverleigh reserves beat Belmont Lions by, I don't know, 20 goals, 18 goals, something like that. So that's the depth we were talking about with reserves in this comp, because Inverleigh seem to have the depth, don't they?
Well, they did. They had to go chasing some this morning.
Must have chased some good ones.
Back in the middle, it's Warrington and Fanning. Fanning unopposed, gets it down. Sam Lowe comes in off the wing, picks up, and he's deemed to have been grabbed high, and he'll take a free kick and put East Geelong back into attack again. A great servant of this footy club, Sam Lowe. One of Grubby's favourites, no doubt.
He is. He
kicks out towards the half-forward flank, coming out, trying to mark there as McGrath. Punched away from him, but a teammate comes through, picks up the crumbs, but the umpire says out of bounds, and we will have a throw-in.
You see a lot of blokes up and down here and there, and that. I've never seen Sam Lowe play a bad game, ever.
So we're going to have a throw-in. Centre wing. Fanning again in the ruck with Warrington. Fanning gets it straight down in front, but grabbed very quickly is Sable. He's got the ball, and he's been had, and we'll have another ball up exactly the same spot where it landed, basically. So Fanning and Warrington again. Fanning lays it down in front of his teammate there in Lemper. He can't break away from the pack. The boundary umpire has found it's gone over the line. We'll have another one. Quick round the grounds if you are interested in the Bellarine. Amateurs 43, Anglesea 13, Drysdale 16, Torquay 15, Mottawarri 21, Newcombe 12, and Ocean Grove 26. Port Arlington 2 points. Ball comes back in. No one touches the ball. Straight over the back of the pack. East Geelong kick it forward very quickly. A pack forms. Muir gets a hand over and punches it back. Vesekuru at the bottom of the pack again. He's grabbed same time as the ball.
No, I just don't think he had prior opportunity. You've got to give him a chance.
See how that could be, Grubby. I'm with you on that one.
You've got to give him a half a chance.
He was chicken-winged as soon as he got hold of the ball. So it's back in the middle of the ground. Punched away very cleverly. Coming onto the ball there for East Geelong. Hand passed across to McGrath. McGrath kicks back in looking for Menzies. He punches the ball clear, gets it to the ground. Coming through for East there is Watson Searle. Hand passes quickly back to Crombie. Crombie kicks it right into the teeth of goal, but slaps into the post. One behind only. 4-6, 30 now East. Bellpost still stuck on their quarter-time score of 2 straight goals. This is the Common Nefane Hotel second quarter. We give Buckley's a run earlier, and it's 6 minutes in.
So the ball is now with Vaserka in the back pocket. He goes out wide. Goes looking towards Yates, but out in front is Fanning, and he will take the mark. So East Geelong with another chance to go back into attack. Short kick now. Mark is taken out there. Again, they run the ball now. That was Hoare. He goes quickly into the forward line. Crombie's up one hand, can't take the mark. Handball comes down from Whitney. Whitney's going to look to get it back again. Goes to Baseley. And he goes back towards Whitney. He comes round the boundary line. Good kick. Mark wasn't taken out there. It's been cleaned up there by Danielle. He gets a handball back inside. Puts his team under a bit of pressure. And the mark, was a kick. I didn't see that. Sable has got the free kick. Mark goes out wide looking and finds Costello. So on centre wing. There's Fantello inboard. Number of players in the middle of the ground. Another dangerous kick. Slow through the air. Verakuru gets to the ball. He gets the handball away. Picked up there. And it's... I think it was Kieran's there, got the ball across the ground, and Vaseka takes the mark. He goes quickly into the forward pocket. They've made good ground. Mark, again, Danielle can't take the mark. Spoil from behind there was by McIntyre, and he delivers the ball back towards centre wing. Menzies out in front, on hands and knees, picked up. Vaseka goes back, and the handball comes wide. They go quickly back into the forward line. The Bellpost still side. Its ball is running towards the boundary line, will go over and will be thrown back in.
I think that was Andrews. Used his body beautifully to get rid of his opponent. I like that kid. I think he can play a bit. Josh, is it? Josh Andrews?
Yeah. So the ball on the forward flank, and it's going to be thrown back in. Front was Warrington. Got the ball down. They look up. Again, they go across the ground. The kick, I'm not too sure where he was going to, but Vasirka's made it okay. He's got there, got a bit of pace. Goes back into the forward line. Low goes across, can't take the mark. Numbers there, East Geelong. They come through the contest. Oh, that was a throw in front of the umpire. I thought it was. Umpires let it go. Ball comes out. That was a clean pick up this time. It was taken out of their hands. And it was Danielle again. And they're going towards the pocket. Man's out there and the ball will be forced over the boundary line. We're going to have another throw in to take place. Sorry, Will Ford it is out there.
So we've got a boundary throw in the forward pocket. Bell post in attack for the first time this quarter. It's thrown in. Fanning again. Can't get over. Comes over to the back of the pack by McIntyre. Kicks right towards centre half forward. Danger spot, but Easter got numbers there. Comes over the back of the pack. Bell post Hill, grab it. Can't get away. Another player grabbed down. Tackled again immediately. No one can break clear. The umpire has found a free kick and it looks like it's going to Bell post Hill. Tackled without the ball. And I reckon that's Dylan Whitney wandering back with a purposeful gait. Or is it going to be...
Well, Hip's got another whack, I think.
No, it's coming back to Fantella. The 200 gamer of last round. He will have the ball for Bell post Hill and kick from about 45 metres out. Not quite directly in front, but pretty darn close to it. So he comes in, crosses the 50-metre line now. Leaves the foot okay. It's pretty darn wobbly down there and it's faded across to the right-hand side for one behind only. Their first minor score of the day, Bell post Hill 2-1, 13 East 4-6-30. And that's 9.5 minutes in.
Yeah, that's the ruckman there.
Yep.
He's not that tall.
No.
He's just too small.
So the ball now from the fullback position. They decide to come Clunbridge side. Kick to a dangerous area. The ball is thrown to the front of the contest. Goes into the hands of Harmer. He ducked his head. Now he's probably going to be pinged here.
And I agree with that one. I agree with that one.
Down.
He lost his prior opportunity by ducking his head trying to get out of the pack.
So Crombie is going to be one of the recipients. There was a couple of tacklers, but he's going to take the ball. He decides to bring the ball wide. Kick will be okay. Oh, it wasn't a great attempt at a mark there by O'Connell. Ball comes to the ground.
Mate, that's why.
And Bell post Hill player has been tackled, brought to ground. I can't see what's on the screen now because we've got a car up there. And umpire says we're going to have it thrown back in. So Bernie's now doing some ruck work.
Whenever you're ready, champ.
And Fanning's also there. Fanning gets the ball, takes it out of the contest, boots a ball, basically runs back, takes possession of it. A good tackle by O'Connell. The circuit taps the ball back further afield into the hands there of Hecker. He goes forward and the mark has been taken out there. Umpire says that Monaghan has played on now. Goes to McIntyre. He goes backwards. So East Geelong just shore up things for a minute. And now goes through Belai though. He goes across the ground. That's a great kick. Mark has not been taken out there. Does Mulville. And he hits the handball over the top. He's looking to get one back. He needs to run to a space, but the kick was intercepted there, picked up there by Ravis. He goes short into the forward line, coming up Mars. Can't take the mark. Again, Ford got the handball out. And it's going to be turned back, and it's going to be Mars again. He's going to take the ball from the back half-back line, goes towards centre wing. Must be a fair bit of pressure here because none of the kicks are hitting targets at the moment. Basically around the body, brings it back towards centre wing, goes a bit deeper than that, picked up there by Bernie. He's tackled by Rich. Umpire can't pay a free kick there and will come in and take possession of the ball.
I thought he was gonna. He hung on and I thought, oh no, but not made the right decision. Good man.
Corio continuing their good start. They're now 6-3-39 to Werribee Central's 2-5. And Bannockburn have kicked another goal, so they're now 50 points in front of Anarchy.
And there's a free kick being given in the contest. It's going to go to Harmer. So he's got the ball. He is forward of centre wing. Goes long towards Man, but going back was Rich. Now there's been a push, says the umpire. I'm not too really sure whether I saw that.
Jacobs leaned on Costello, who then pushed his own man out of the contest, but Rich had done nothing to do with it all, just took a very good mark, but he's not going to get a kick.
No, I think, well, let's call it with Cozzy, let's call it using his experience. Let's just call it that for now.
There may have been a bit of that, Grubby.
Yeah.
Costello now from about 30 metres out directly in front. Would normally put this down, and he can, because he has got his first goal of the afternoon. And the first of this second quarter for Bell Post Hill. It's 3-1 Bell Post Hill, 4-6 to East Geelong. And we have travelled just over 13 minutes in this second quarter.
Well, look, a bloke like Costello, when he's not playing well, and that's from his own admission, I spoke to him before the game, said he wasn't playing that well. But blokes like that, the thing they don't lose is they're kicking for goal. And he just went back and he never ever looked like missing that. And that's a real handy goal because it puts them back in it. Because I just think they've wedged a little bit of that they've just taken a little bit back because I think East Geelong were going all right.
Ball's up at the middle. Fanning gets a very decisive tap down, picks up his own ruck work and slaps it on the foot. Menzies comes out, gets there first, can't quite hold the ball, has a second go at it. Bellpost Hill's defence working overtime, can't get it away there, but coming out now with a neat little handball, intercepted. The umpire almost blew the whistle for a push then, put the whistle back in his pocket, and now he's blown it a second time for a ball up.
Momentum was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Sounding like a dill.
We're about 40 metres out from East Geelong's goal. Menzies goes up in the ruck, but lands before the ball arrives. Comes out the back of the pack quickly to McIntyre. He slaps on his foot to Lemper. He can't get clear. Muir for Bellpost Hill. Butters up very nicely. Gets it across to Vakura, who's been very good today. Vasurka, I should say. He kicks it down the line. That's a very good mark indeed by Bernie. Bernie's chopping out in the ruck today. Gets it back to Vasurka. Vasurka's in a bit of trouble here. Hand passes over the top to Danielle. He runs down looking for a teammate, and it is Mann who comes out and takes a good mark in front of Rich. So Bellpost still in attack now. They're just forward of centre wing. Mann is running around. Should be called played on by now already, and it has been. Kicks long at a centre half forward. Ford's running out and setting himself underneath it. Over the back of the pack though, coming on to it there is Harmer. Harmer gets across to Muir. Muir quickly forward, but off to the right-hand side, one behind only. So the home side are 3-2-20 now. East Geelong 4-6-30.
He misread that, Will Ford. He ran about 10 metres underneath and ended up just stopping and looking back. I don't know. He went miles underneath it.
He must have misread in the wind or something, but he was caught out. It's Mast now for East Geelong. Has the ball, kicks long down the line, and that is a very, very nice mark indeed by Brodie Hecker. And he will drive Bellpost Hill back into attack. A neat little pass looking for and finding Dylan Whitney. And the man on the mark will be as near as you can spit to the 50-metre arc. Quickly ran onto his favoured left foot. That beautiful raking kick that Dylan Whitney's famous for. His teammates like it. That is their fourth goal for the afternoon. The reigning Whitley medalist has kicked his first goal for the day. So that's 4-2-26. Bellpost Hill, East Geelong 4-6-30, and we are 16 minutes now into the Common Nafeen Hotel second quarter.
Well, he's not actually playing as a permanent forward, but he nearly is because he's been up the ground a few times. But I think because of his hips and his injuries and his body's just fallen apart. But by gee, he just shows his class when he gets the footy like that. Under the left boot, bang, never looked like missing. And that's the Dylan Whitney of old. And let's just hope his body stands up, not just for the rest of the game, but for the rest of the year, for Bellpost Hill's sake.
Yes, it'd be like a lot of clubs, Grob. I reckon they'll be all hoping that they don't lose too many players in the course of the year. So, ball back in the middle of the ground again. This time, Fanning gets the ball down. McIntyre through the middle, goes out wide, and leading up the player is McGrath. Takes the mark. He's outside forward 50, but a kick and a half away from goal. He goes in, looking towards Vesicura, but again, reading the ball well, McNamara. And he will transfer play across the ground. Sent Muir a bit of a task. Opted for the handball. Got in and out of trouble. Did that okay. Kick was only just as what it needed to be. And reached its target in Hecker. So Hecker now has the ball. Flaccavento's right back on the boundary line screaming for the ball. Hecker's going to come this side of the ground, but Costello is going to be the target. But going up as
that was a bad kick.
It was. Still directed. Went straight to him. He goes short, and the mark will be taken there by Low now. Looking at his options further afield. This is the important kick. He decides to go quick and go wide, far side of the ground. Oh, player was up high, but the ball's hit the ground. McIntyre on the left boot kicks towards goal. It is way offline, out of bounds on the full free kick going to Bellpost Hill, and basically will take that kick.
I tell you what, you see Sam Lowe, and he never ever plays in the ruck. He always plays on the back line. And just watching these blokes run past, he's about a foot taller than anybody else Bellpost Hill have got. He don't even play in the ruck. So they do have a height problem, and I spoke to Tarry before the game, and he reckons they're probably only 2 or 3 injuries away from being a threat to an also-ran side. That's what you're saying, Smithy.
Yep. Ball to Flacavento, so across the ground they came. So Flacavento now with the important kick. This has to be good. Not too many options. Bernie looks like it's going to be the target. Set a bit of a task. He got spoiled on there. Went past Hecker. Flacavento went past it again. Basically tried to pick it up and burst his way through. Had his head down. Was working hard, and he will be rewarded with a free kick. So basically now from the near fullback position. And he can use the ball very well. So basically now, again, not looking to come this side as yet, but it's going to start using some options up because the umpire's still asking him to play on. He's going to go back and he's going to walk through for a goal. So a rush behind. He must be able to. Now he's played on and put himself under more pressure. Umpire says he hasn't waved the flag. So
but you don't have to anymore.
No, I didn't think so. But
isn't that a free kick?
No, you do have to call all clear though. I didn't think you're allowed to walk back through the goals. That's what started all this pressure. Yeah, no pressure.
So basically he's now going to have another opportunity from the full-back position. He decides to bring the ball out, go long, out wide. Ball gets through to Costello. Well, that was a flick.
That's a high fend-off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it was. So Jacobs now with the free kick. He looks short. Goes towards low. Oh, he was called out of the contest and did that nicely. And the mark has been taken out there by McGrath. Again, just a little bit too far out. Decides to go short to Smith in the pocket. Through the hands it goes. Vento's with him. Took the ball up. Got the handball away to McNamara. Over the top he goes. And again, they run through Andrews. Delivers the ball back towards centre wing. Cairns is up. Ball gets through the contest. Belido's out the back. Mars goes back further. This time it might be a little chip forward. And again, Jacobs comes up. Not too sure they travel the right distance.
Come back, Cossie. You'll get 50.
Yep. So now Jacobs with the ball. Little short option further around the boundary line. Mars has got the ball. So again, just looking at some options. Up the ground's not too good. Might have to change directions here. But he decides to go long and down the boundary line. Goes towards a teammate, but the mark has been taken out there, and a good mark by Sable, and he will stem the tide for Belpost Hill for a short period. So again, East Geelong still not letting them play their short game. He decides to go low and flat, only as far as low. He tried to take him on there. He dropped the ball there, and that is a good decision by the umpire.
Yeah, fair enough. He tried to break the tackle.
So free kick will go back, and it's going to be picked up there. So Belpost Hill with the ball. Sable goes short. Mark is taken out there. Yates. So he again, with numbers back behind the contest, he decides to go long. Whitney's just come onto the ground, but it goes in that direction. Mars had the ball, lost possession of it. They try to win possession from the contest, picked up out there. This time I think it was Staggard. He can't get through the contest.
What up, ump?
And the umpire says it's coming back to me.
I'll tell you another rule they've got to get rid of. When a bloke's standing on the mark, the umpire gives him a bit of time, and then he says, move it on, and then play on. Because he nearly went when he said move it on. That's 50.
So the ball's picked up there from the contest. He goes quickly by left foot into the forward line. Ball runs through the contest. I think it's Limper coming through from the fence. Kept the ball in front of himself. Did nicely. Got the handball away. Only as far as McIntyre. Wants to go back on the right foot and does so. Goes round the body now. Back towards centre wing. Mark not taken out there. Again, ball in dispute there. Picked up out there by Sable. Got the handball back out.
Oh, that's in the back.
Could have gone either way there, but basically over the top of the ball, has the ball, got McNamara running, but he decides to go straight towards goal. Ford has got to be the target, but again, underneath the contest he comes again. Yates is back there, kept the ball in front of him. Mars runs onto it, picks the ball up, handballs over the top. McIntyre again on the right boot, comes round the boundary line. I think the kick is okay, and Mark has been taken out there. This time I think it's Crombie. He goes inboard, okay again. Mark taken in there by Fanning. So he's now looking at his options. There's not too many across the ground, but he goes backwards. Mark is taken deep in defence. And again, Yates just covers the ground. I think it might be Belitho out there. He plays on now and goes wide to centre wing. Again, didn't hit Jacobs on the wing. He went back and collected it. Then he put it down. Again, Belpost still numbers around the contest. Ball comes out into the hands of Whitney. Goes quickly into the forward line. Mark not taken. Backed up there by Rich. Rich goes. Little short kick. And a mark has been taken out there by Monaghan. So Monaghan now called to play on by the umpire. Got the handball to McIntyre. He's going to go back across the face of goal, which will be okay. Mars back pocket, plays on and goes further afield, short to Jacobs. And Jacobs now looks inside. He goes short. Again, a good kick, good mark. And Helmore has the ball just outside their forward 50 or defensive 50. And again, options all backwards here. Mars.
Let's just see how they work this.
Yep, they'll probably go back again because they've got a teammate back further and Monaghan once again.
But then they get
Crombie's further afield.
Now we watch them.
Now they'll go back again, I reckon, because there's not too many options around this side of the ground. Belpost still have all manned up. So again, He's going to decide to come this side of the ground, and he kicks the ball long, so there's a contest. Menzies can't take the mark. Warrington's there. He couldn't take it cleanly. Went back to Menzies, got a clean pick up, handball away to Vesakuru, picks the ball up.
That's a good bump.
He tried to take him, tackled now, and it's going to be a ball up right in front of where we sit.
And that's where Belpost, they've got a really good short game, East Geelong. They hit targets, but East Geelong, Belpost Hill man up beautifully then.
Well, that's a game they play grub, so they should know how to defend
Yes,
it.
that's right.
So the ball through to McIntyre. Been okay this afternoon. Ball comes through the contest, and again, Rabbis over the top, plucked out of the contest. I think that might have been Hoare. Try to get it further afield. Belido's also there. Again, it's pretty scrambly football here. It's not coming out. Umpire surely will come in once again and take possession. So as we go over 24 minutes in this second quarter, it's Belpost Hill 4-2. East Geelong are on 4-7.
Ball is thrown up. Fanning was held by Warrington. I thought the umpire let it go. Vasirka has kicked it almost straight up in the air, but holding on to it. He's come into the game this quarter is Monaghan in the back line for East Geelong. He's out in the half-back flank. And another short kick into the middle of the ground. Looking for and finding McGrath, I think that is. No, it's McIntyre. Goes across to Mars, who's been very busy. Had a lot of possessions there today. So Mars kicks out onto the wing. He's just trying to find his teammate Helmore. It runs away from him. Over the boundary line, out of bounds. Centre wing, far side of the ground. Very windy Myers Reserve here at Belpost Hill. The game has got very scrappy recently. East lead by 5 points. They're 4-7. Belpost Hill 4-2. And we're 25 minutes into the Common Nafane Hotel second quarter. Thrown back in again. Fanning and Burney this time. Burney double fists it forward. But first onto the ball there for East is Helmore. He can't break away.
Holding the ball.
And the umpire says it was holding the ball.
He did have a small avenue of opportunity. Not much, but he did have a little one.
It's Muir for Belpost Hill. Kicks into the pocket, coming out and taking a mark on the chest is Yates, but the umpire said it was touch. Play on. Quickly kicks forward. Jacobs drops a chest mark. Coming through for Belpost Hill there, I think it's Costello. He can't break free. The umpires kept saying, play on, play on. Ball's out the boundary line. Yates gets it back in, but the boundary umpire has blown the whistle. It's gone over the line. The wind is definitely picking up. Still not 100% sure which way it's blowing.
Conditions have changed too, I can tell you.
Yes. It's a couple of degrees cooler. Be looking for a hot sausage roll at half-time, Dale. Thrown back in again. Fanning lays it out in front of his teammate there in McIntyre. He can't break through. He gets a second go at it. Still can't break free as he's tackled down. This game has degenerated into a very ugly mess in the last few minutes. As the weather has deteriorated, I don't know if it's a coincidence or a reason, Grubby.
Well, I don't know. All I'm thinking of is maybe a couple of sausage rolls.
I was thinking six.
One business. I've never had one in my life.
Ball thrown back in the forward pocket again. The ball goes straight back over the boundary line, so we're going to have a repeat of our previous throw-in. Just a little bit closer to the Belpost Hill goal this time. If they get one here and go in at half-time in front, that would be a real bonus for the Belpost Hill side. Past players' day up here. Ball thrown back in. Again, Belpost Hill front position in Burney. Taps it down. I think it was Whitney that may be tackled out there. Umpire says dropping the ball.
There's no chance to get rid of that at all.
I don't think there was any prior opportunity there either.
They're just getting that wrong a little bit today. Everything else has been fine, but they're getting that wrong today.
So Belido it is from the far side of the ground. He goes back towards centre wing looking for Menzies. Ball goes over his head. Goes towards the boundary line. Again, will be over and will be thrown back in on that far side. So the highway side of the ground. Umpire throws back in now. Again, Burney has front position, so he's done okay. But I think Fanning over the top may have won the possession. Ball comes to the front of the contest. And again, umpire in very quickly. Another ball up. Centre wing position. So thrown up by the umpire once again. Burney taps the ball down. Again at ground level. It's comes through some legs. I'm not too sure who pushed it through, but Belpost Hill have got the run of the ball now. They need to keep the ball flowing. It's going to be coming out, is it? Yes, it is. Into the hands of Costello. Umpire says, I'm not too sure what that was for. Did he call a throw grub or did he call
holding the man?
Holding the man. Okay, well, there it is. So the ball goes back towards centre wing. Coming up, Menzies can't pick it up, but it's Muir that does so. He goes round the body and goes back, and the mark will be taken out there by Mann. So maybe the last chance for him in this quarter. His kick into the forward line, not good. Lemper intercepts and reads it nicely. Goes across the ground. Kick has to be good. Oh, it's missed the target. Umpire may have gotten the road there. McIntyre picks the ball up. A little bit of pressure being applied. Again, they work the ball so far. They've got it back towards Rich as the siren sounds, and at half time it will be East Geelong on 4-7. They lead Bellpost Hill 4-2. Goal kickers for the home side, Costello, Whitney and Ford has 2. And individual goal kickers for the East Geelong side, Menzies, McGrath, Andrew and Smith. We're going to take a short break, come back with second half action here from Myers Reserve. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Ultra advanced UPVC.
Yeah, just checking on everything coming through well now. I think we're all normal.
Financial savings, acoustic reduction, superior safety and protection.
Yeah, right. Well,
Half-time has finished and we're back in it now. Umpire has thrown the ball in the air and it's through Lemper. They get the ball out towards McIntyre. So the Brigade has brought the ball in. Vesicura was put his arm out. I'm not too sure what he was asking for. Handball from Bellpost Hill defence is okay. Ends up in the hands there of Hecko, who gets the ball back towards the centre of the ground. Lemper it is, working back towards it. Picked up by a man of Bellpost Hill. His handball goes out wide to Warrington. And again, they bring the ball inside and that's a better use of the football. And coming out to take the mark is Ford. So Will Ford for Bellpost Hill.
That'll be a tough goal from there.
He's going to need to kick this ball every bit of 50 metres. And this would be the start that Bellpost Hill would be looking for in this third quarter. So forward now. A deliberate shot at goal. Has 2 for the afternoon. The first 2 for Bellpost Hill. And that is not going to score. Not even close. And the ball has gone out of bounds on the full. Free kick going to East Geelong. I can tell you that Bellpost Inverleigh have got ahead of Belmont Lions, but it's the only score I can tell you, but I don't know why. What? I'm not too sure. But when do they play tonight, Rob?
What do you think about that kick, Grubby?
So the ball comes out quickly. They come back outside. Mark is up, and it's a good mark there from Lemper. And it's right on the defensive 50. Asked to play on there by the umpire, and he delivers the ball back towards centre wing. McGrath in front. Out the back, ball comes Smith. Over around it, picked up by Flacavento. Got the handball away. A good handball back inside to McNamara. Makes the old fella work a little bit. Has to pick the ball up. Is tackled, brought to ground. Ball comes out. Fahama tries to barge his way out of the contest, left the ball behind, picked up by Whitney, handballs over the top. Mulville got the ball, he got the handball away, and it goes back towards Menzies. Menzies on centre wing, hasn't got support, now he has, and the man of Crombie, he looks back into the middle, had some options out the back, missed McIntyre, but he went back and collected it, got the handball wider. Jacobs it is, right boot goes into the forward line, nice kick, Smith comes up and takes the mark. I would think this would test him from here.
Yeah, it would. This is a bit like Will Ford. This is a fair way out.
Yep.
He's going to pass it.
He knows his options and he's going to go short. And Mars has come up from behind the ball and he has taken the mark. Don't know whether he's improved the angle any. The distance might be about 5 or 10 metres closer. So he's going to need every bit of that good kick from that position. So an opportunity now for East Geelong. As we said, they started at 4-7. They were 5 points clear of Bellpost Hill at 4-2. He comes in, kicks towards goal, and it's going to be a little bit short and left and through for a minor score, which moves them now to 4-8 and Bellpost Hill on 4-2. We've gone just on 3 minutes to Grandy Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
Sorry, I was late, boys. I was just waiting for the second plate of sausage rolls. Apparently some locations ate all the first one. None left for the rest of us. Coming out of defence for Bellpost Hill, Yates can't quite take the mark. Tapped forward by young Crombie. Bellpost Hill desperately trying. Comes over the back to Warrington. He hand passes inside, and it's Sable who grabs it, slaps it on his boot very quickly, but that will be out of bounds on the full, I reckon. The umpire has... No.
It's either a mark or out of bounds on the full.
He's checking with the boundary umpire. It looked out in the full to me, but he's just double checking. Okay, so it's deemed to be marked in play. And there's a little bit of a head shake there, but we move on. So it's Mann for Bellpost Hill who has it. He's just back of the centre wing, kicks into the middle of the ground. Coming out and taking a very easy mark is Jacobs, who's been very busy this afternoon. Hand passes to Lowe. His kick is smothered. Getting a second chance to come in is Lowe. Goes past him. Jacobs comes in, tries to tackle, but over the back for Bellpost Hill is Yates. His hand pass is intercepted there by Andrew. He kicks forward looking for Smith. It's punched over the back of the pack by McGrath to Bellpost Hill. Andrews. He can't get clear. It's a quick little hand pass, and Vasurka, who's been very busy this afternoon, he gets a quick kick out to the half-back flank, Mars, who's also had a lot of the footy. He follows up, neatly drops it into the forward line, and Zach Smith comes out and marks, plays on immediately, tries to get around his man, balks himself, and then kicks into the middle of the square.
Oh,
Vesicura! Ruben Vesicura takes an absolute specky right in the goal square for East Geelong, and he will go back and surely not kick a banana this time like he did in the first quarter.
No, he's dead in front. Just kick through it, son, and kick it right through the middle. Put it down in the book, Smitty. It's a goal.
Vesicura
Oh,
absolutely
no.
hacks that.
Sorry?
He has
What was
missed
that?
Shank.
He shanked that, and it has gone at 45 degrees and through for one behind only. I can't believe what I saw then.
Did he try to change his mind and kick a
Well,
torpedo?
he tried to do the right thing, and that's go back and kick through it, but it just horrible ball drop and one behind only.
Well, and got to remember, he's got 25 seconds or whatever to kick it. He took about 8. Go back. Doesn't matter whether you're 10 or 50 out. Go back, line it up, kick through it and kick a goal. That was a terror.
4-9 they are now, East Geelong. Ball comes out. Muir tries to mark, punched away from him. Goes across to, comes out to Menzies. Menzies gets the hand pass inside. Jacobs inside further to Low. He's tackled and will be penalised for illegal possession. Gets across to Warrington. Warrington
Pryor?
across to Sable, and Sable out to Mann. He can't hold the ball, and it's out of bounds.
I'm not sure whether Lowe had prior opportunity again.
Well, he was certainly pinged very, very quickly. And we'll have a boundary thrown right in front of us. Fanning, who's done a sterling job since McLennan was injured. He's won another tap out, goes down, can't get it to his teammate though. Dylan Whitney over the back to Yates. Yates kicks down the line for Bell Post Hill. Rich does a very good job defending for East Geelong, but it's knocked out of his hands by Danny L. Rich trying to butter up again, but the ball's wedged between a pair of legs. Not going nowhere, and we'll have a ball up 55 metres out from Bell Post Hill's goal. They are 7 points behind, and we are 6.5 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So ball thrown up again by the umpire. This time the ball comes back, and it's going to be picked up there. Trying to work out of the contest was young Quinn. Got the handball away. Picked up out there this time by O'Connell. He's tackled, brought to ground, goes to Yates. Tries to fend off, ran himself into a little bit of trouble. And the umpire says he has stepped over the boundary line, so we're going to have another throw-in to take place.
Well, there you go. It's not 25 seconds. It's 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
According to Keats.
We got some scores from half-time, boys, or somewhere.
He's never wrong, Keats, I can tell you.
So the ball thrown back in, and this time the ball tapped down. Again, McIntyre, he's taken off the ball. Ball goes back towards Yates. He's tried the handball, doesn't come out, and now the umpire will come in, and there's going to be a ball up to take place.
Well, the ball up's on. Bannockburn 71, Anarchy 5, Belmont Lions 27, Inverleigh now out to 46, and Werribee 26, Corio 41.
So the free kick grabbed it. I don't see what it was for again, but anyway, the ball's going back and it goes towards Menzies. Ball went through his hand, kicked off the ground out there by Andrew, runs towards the boundary line, and the umpire says we're going to have a throw in to take place.
What was that?
Well, he said he was holding him. That's what he signalled.
The ruckman, but they weren't even touching each other, were they?
Nah.
So the ball's thrown in. This time Birdie taps the ball back towards the boundary line, picked up by Bernie, who actually was a tackle there. Yates on McIntyre, and McIntyre didn't have the ball, so he's going to win the free kick. Jack Yates is not too sure which way he's going.
No, he's lost.
Yeah, no, he is.
He is completely and utterly lost.
Now he's right. So McIntyre's now straightening him up. He goes short. Okay, the mark is taken out there by Searle. He decides to go and go quickly into the forward line. Vesicura out in front. Marcus not taken. Good spoil from behind. Going back there. Hecker gets over the top of it. Vesicura recovers. Goes after it again. Feeds the ball out. Picked up there by Searle. He gives the handball away once again. And again, the ball runs free. Picked up in the hands of Yates. Goes backwards. Out the back. They run the ball now into the hands of Costello. So again, Costello feeding his way up the ground. Not too sure. He's sure that Smith was behind him, but he did that pretty casually. And the mark has been taken out there by Quinn. So Quinn now, he decides to go back to the far side of the ground. And in space by themselves, they win the ball and they go round the boundary line. Baseley's made some good position. Just needs to pick the ball up. Can do so now. Ooh, went low. Probably got the ball out. Not too sure. Well, it was either a free kick or holding the ball, I would have thought. But the ball ends up out there on the far side. It's Mars. He's got the ball. Looks for his options. Handball goes back to Smith. And he off a step. He goes long and high towards the boundary line. And it will end up over the boundary line to be thrown back in. Actually, umpire says out of bounds to the full, by the way, indicated. No.
Oh, geez, Yates was lucky down here. He didn't know where he was. I reckon it was 1/50th of a second to getting a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah,
Just got back. The umpire come up the whistle, 9 up. You're right, fair enough. He let him go.
So we're throwing a throw in on the 50-metre arc, far side of the ground. Bernie in front, Menzies from behind. Picked up out there. The handball goes back to Bernie. Needs to get it away and does so into the hands of McNamara. Further to Baseley. Steps around one. Went backwards again. They're mucking around with a little bit, but they get the ball out of their defensive area. But Sam Lowe read that nicely. It was chipped across and was taking the mark. So the ball is going to come back for East Geelong now. A short chip up over the top. I think it's O'Connell coming up. And he takes the mark. Decides to play on. Goes across the ground. Kick was ill-directed. It might work, but coming through was Bernie, I think it was. Picked the ball up, a short kick. Umpire says, oh, don't know whether that travelled the right distance.
No, but he played on. He's going to be in trouble here.
So the ball's come out in that tackle now. Again, Quinn got the handball away. So going to work okay. Bernie picked it up, but gave it straight back to the East Geelong player in Belitho. He lost it to Hoare. And now there's a free kick or tackle, and now the advantage has been paid as Whitney comes out of the contest. Goes long, and Mann has got out the back. Bellpost still with some players heading down the ground. Ford's got to be the target. That's the direction he goes in. Puts it out in front. Ford, can he take the mark? No. Ball comes to ground. Unfortunately, kicks it with a foot, and it goes over the boundary line and will be thrown back into the field of play.
Couple of upsets looming in the Bellarine. Drysdale still leading Torquay 33 to 29. Anglesea 34, Amateurs 61, Mottawarri 30, Newcombe 53, and Ocean Grove and Barron Heads are well in front of Port Arlington and Queenscliff respectively.
What about the Cats?
The Cats, are they playing today?
Yep, they were at half-time 31 apiece, but I'm not too sure what's happened since. Ball in the contest, and it's going to be a ball up. Umpiring very quickly there.
Well, Fremantle lead by 12 points, 49 to 37, 22 minutes into the third quarter.
So the ball thrown up. Again, ball comes out of that contest. It's good tackle there. Lemper had it, was tackled by Yates, and no prior opportunity. So the umpire again will take possession of the ball. Still inside their forward 50. As we know, Fanning doing the ruck work. Bernie's also there. From the contest, they win the possession out, goes towards Costello. He plucked that out nicely, looks to bring the ball around his body, only as far as McGrath. He goes up and takes the mark. Umpire called play on. Not too sure why, but it looked like clean grab for me. But the umpire is a lot closer than where we sit. So again, umpire will throw the ball up right on the 50-metre arc. So Bernie's doing the ruck work. Both players get a hand on it. Coming through the contest, goes into the forward line. Rich keeps the ball in front of himself, goes towards Jacobs, heads towards the boundary line. Might be advised to take it over, and does so. Umpire says, let's throw it back in. So 12, almost 30 minutes gone. Third quarter, the Granny Cycling Sport third quarter scoreboard sees Bellpost still in 4-2, East Geelong 4-9.
And we've got a throw in now, forward pocket. Fanning gets over the back, gets it down, but coming through is Sable, who's played very well today. Monaghan evades a couple of tackles, slaps it on his boot very quickly to the advantage of McGrath. He hand passes across. McIntyre can't pick it up, and coming through there for East Geelong is for Fanning. He's knocked over, and the umpire will have a ball up right on the corner of the centre square. Bellpost Hill are slightly in attack. They're 7 points to the worse, and we are 13 minutes into the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter. Fanning did not get a hand on that one. It was Bernie who tried to win possession, gets it to Sable. Sable, quick kick forward, but Monaghan again gets it across to McIntyre. He kicks, but doesn't really go out. Dribbles along the ground. Bodies go in hard. Ball bobbles out the back. Comes to Baseley. Baseley across to Muir. Muir kicks down, looking for the lead of Ford, and Ford comes out. Can't quite control the mark, but Danielle for Bellpost Hill grabs it. He can't kick it, and immediately jumped on, and the umpire said he was tripped. In fact, no, it was East Geelong player was tripped, and it's coming out and taking up the mark there. Mars cleans up. He kicks down the line looking for Menzies, but it's gone over the back of the pack, and marking for Bellpost Hill is McNamara. He kicks into the middle of the ground and finds Danielle. He quickly plays on. He sees Mann on his own. Rich comes over across the front of him, in fact, and takes a mark. So the veteran East Geelong defender, who's had a pretty good game today, he relieves pressure, kicks it across to Mars, as he's done on more than one occasion today. The two of them work quite well together back there for East Geelong.
And that decision was the right decision too. He took his legs out from under him.
So Mars returns the favour and kicks it further on to Rich, who's made good position further down the ground. So East coming out slowly, trying to mount an attack to build on their 7-point lead. It's kicked down the line, and Lemper comes out and takes a really good mark for East Geelong. Kicks it neatly into the middle of the ground, and it's McGrath for East Geelong. No, it's Belitho, sorry, for East Geelong. Takes the mark on the corner of the centre square. He kicks across ground, puts his teammate under a bit of pressure there, coming over the back of the pack cleverly. It's Mulville. He kicks forward pretty quickly. Coming onto the ball is Crombie, one of his munch from the under-19s. That's a beautiful long kick by young Crombie, and that is a goal. And that may get some momentum going for East. It's the first time they've scored since very early in the second quarter. They kicked 2 in a hurry at the start of the second and haven't been near a positive attack since. But that one could give them a bit of confidence. Extends their lead to 13 points, so it's 4-2 to 5-9. And we are 15 minutes into the Buckley's Nose, the De Grande Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So what do you want me to say? I've got 8 seconds, you hog.
Say whatever you like.
There's nothing to say. He's going to bounce the ball.
Well, don't say anything,
you've been
then.
bloody talking too much.
Ball is back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Bernie doing the ruck work, and we know that Fanning is doing it for East Geelong pretty much on his own now through Harmer. He got himself back into trouble. Oh, geez, he was lucky there because it should have been holding the ball, I thought. But free kick awarded for a high tackle. Got himself out and came back into traffic, and he's now going to deliver the ball into their forward line. Runs through that little bit of wet spot in the middle of the ground. That's a nice looking kick towards forward. He's up. Ball hits front of the ground. Again, players come past the ball. Kerins it's picked up there by Costello, goes back towards goal. I tell you what, it only needed a little bit more of a break. It would have gone through, but it's through for a minor score. Nick Costello with 1 goal, 1 this afternoon, and a Belpost Hill 4-3, trailing East on a 5-9.
It would have needed an off break, Smithy.
Yes, and 16 and a half, almost 17 minutes gone in this quarter. Mars with the kicking in duties. He decides to come club room side. McGrath's the target. Forwards in front, Fanning up in front. He goes and collects his own ball. Has a look, decides to go long down towards Vesicuro. Andrews is with him. Ball gets out the back. Andrews taps it back over his head. Vesicuro has done okay because it's into the hands of Hall now. He runs and looks towards Smith. That's the direction they go in. Ball gets out the back. Oh, it doesn't matter. He's taken the mark. Handball's over the top. O'Connell just has to take the ball, will run into goal, and he will finish it off. It's a good passage of play for the East Geelong side. They have their 6 now. 6-9 to East Geelong, 4-3 to Belpost Hill. 17 and a half gone, third quarter, the Grande Cycle Sports third quarter scoreboard.
They've just broken the struggle. They've just broken the arm wrestle, haven't they? They've kicked 2 goals. I think around the grounds, it's pretty close. I think Belpost Hill are probably playing as well as East, but the last 2 times they've gone in really, really well. I reckon there's blokes run down, and the Belpost Hill boys just didn't quite chase him and left him sitting on his own. And it just tells me that Belpost Hill may be just tiring just a little.
Just going around the grounds now. Bit of an update. Werribee 51. They've hit the front. Corio 49. Inverleith 60. Belmont 28. And Bannockburn now 91. Anarchy on the 6 behinds. Back in the middle of the ground, Fanning gets his hand on the ball, but not really to any advantage. Belpost Hill at first onto it. McIntyre does a very good job to lay a tackle and keep the ball going East's way, but they can't get on the umpire. Surely must. No, we've had a little wobble out, and away they go again. Belpost Hill have kicked the ball forward. Rabbis comes over the back of the pack, can't hold it, and Monaghan, who's done a really good job lately. Quick little hand pass.
Trouble.
And that is definitely Belitho has been caught, dropped the ball, and that will give Belpost Hill a shot at goal directly in front, about 45 metres out, and I think it'll be Will Kerrin who will take the kick for Belpost Hill. He'll need to kick it about 40 metres, I reckon. Directly in front he is. Very strong tackle on Belitho. A little forward comes in, stabs at it, but he kicks it very, very straight, and that's a much-needed goal for the Panthers. Their 5th of the afternoon, 5-3, East 6-9.
Well, they never say die, are they, the Panthers? I said they'd broken the struggle, they'd broken the arm wrestle, and all of a sudden they've got one back to bring them back into calculation, and who knows, they kick another one, and obviously we've got the close one, and let's hope it stays close, because I just reckon around the ground it's probably a draw. I just don't see either side, dominating the other side. It's pretty close around the ground, and one more goal will tell that on the scoreboard.
So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground. Bernie doing some ruck work. Again, ball. I think he got the hands on it this time. There's a free kick. Umpires called it. Free kick's going to Bell Post Hill. Not too sure who or why, but it's going to go to Sable.
Sable.
Yep. So Sable now in the middle of the ground. So he's going to just kick the ball long and direct straight down the ground. Goes towards Ford. Bell Post Hill. Oh, actually, Ford won the ball off the contest. Kicked towards goal. And I'll tell you what, he might have his boots on the wrong feet because he's kicking pretty ordinary in the second half. He's kicked that out of bounds in the full.
Well, he can't get hold of the ball, so he hasn't had much practice. He's had a bit early, then he's gone off the ball. He's been well beaten. He had plenty of opportunities for marks and that, and I think it's Helmore on him has done really, really well.
Started like Lynch last night, mate. And he couldn't kick the ball straight if life depended on it. So, ball with Mars in the back pocket underneath the scoreboard. Low up the ground leads for him, but he decides to go a little bit longer out towards Rich. Good mark out the back there, and that was taken by Helmore. So Helmore now with the ball, defensive side of centre wing, goes short. Lead up player is Menzies. Good clean pick up off the ground. Nice handball. Goes to Low over the top. Has freed up Hoare through the middle of the ground. He looks up. Player leading is going towards Smith, but again O'Donnell's there. And he picks, O'Connell. He goes on the right boot. The banana around the corner, bringing that back not far enough. Hits the bottom of the post. A minor score. So 6-10 now East Geelong. 5-3 Bell Post Hill. 22 minutes gone. The Granny Cycling Sports third quarter scoreboard.
So Bell Post Hill have the ball deep in defence. It's Josh Andrews with it, looking for some options. Can't find anything, but Sable's run down and made some position in the back pocket, and he's taken the chest mark. Danielle has made a spot further up. Sable's hemmed in deep in the back pocket, nowhere to go. He's tried to get round to the man on the mark, does so successfully, but kicks an up and under, hoping that a teammate can be there. But it's Rich from East Geelong who's the first on the scene, takes a mark, plays on quickly, kicks into the hot spot in the middle of the ground. It's a 3-on-1, but it's the one that wins. Bell Post Hill attacked each other. Watson Searle picks up the crumb, kicks it into the forward pocket, and the umpire has deemed that is out on the full, despite Menzies taking the chest mark. The goal umpire called out in the full, so Bell Post Hill with Josh Andrews again will take the mark in the back pocket. He gets it across to McNamara.
Tried to sneak a 52 by going down.
And he's got the ball, but they're hemmed in here. East defending really well at this
too
stage.
high.
Kick down the line. Fanning's underneath. Players jostling. The umpire has suggested that Lowe has infringed. And man for Bell Post Hill will take the free kick on the half-back flank. A short kick from him, and he finds Bernie. The fill-in ruckman, who marks in front of his teammate Fanning. So Bernie's looking for some options. He goes backwards, actually, to McNamara for Bell Post Hill. So they're really hemmed in these few minutes. East working hard to keep it in. McNamara's gone further backwards, and it lands in the hands of a teammate back there who... Flacavento finds Bernie again. He makes position. A neat little kick, and Dylan Whitney marks on the half-back flank. Almost spoilt. The neat little left-footer down the line, and Yates takes the mark in front of Jacobs. So they're trying to mount something here, but there's not a lot of room to work in. Gets it across to the middle, and Muir has made position. He's looking wider. The Circa's way out on the wing on his own. Muir hasn't spotted him, so he's going laterally again, and this time Bernie kicks it down the line. Man comes out, can't hold the mark. McIntyre for East Geelong. Monaghan's got a knee in the head there. He's gone down. Ball's quickly kicked forward. Ooh, coming out to do try and mark there for East is Ben Mulville. He can't take the ball. Comes back into the middle of the ground to Sam Lowe. And Sam Lowe's neat little kick down the line. Oh,
he's let it bounce.
They've let it bounce, the pair of them. Both of them are waiting for the other to mark it.
Yeah.
And it's a bounce between them, and Bell Post Hill have caused the ball up. Just on their half-forward flank, they're pushing forward now. They're trailing by 13 points. It's up Fanning. Fists it over the back, coming through his Crombie. He can't break free. He gets a second chance at it. Pulls it in underneath him. Lemper's trying to break through. He can't get it. The ball's wobbled out to Monaghan. He gets around one. Tackles very quickly.
That's got to be ball, huh?
Kicks it high up into the forward line. Man's underneath it. Coming out is Will Ford. Goes for a hand pass this time, then a kick. Gets it to Baseley. Baseley across to Vasurka. He marks about 45 metres out. on a slight angle on the far side of the ground. I'm not quite sure if he thinks he can go that far. He's going
I
to
don't
wheel
think
round
so.
now, kick it up on the top of the square. We a pack of players here, and Rich comes over and flicks it through for one behind and takes Bellpost Hill to 5-4, 34 East to 6-10, 46. 12-point lead, and we're 25 minutes into the Grandi Sport and Cycle third quarter.
So East Geelong now with the ball at that fullback position, and they're going to come clubroom side of the ground. Below though it is, it brings the ball out, goes out long. Fanning is up in front, mark not taken, or
Yes,
I'm not
it
too
is.
sure that's had the whole of it, but Menzies is going to be paid the mark. So Menzies now, he looks to bring the ball down towards centre wing and beyond. Vesakura is the target, but Andrews getting in front, and he takes the mark and or free kick. So Andrews now, defensive side of his centre wing. We'll look for some options. Player short, kick will be okay. Player coming up from behind is Staggard. So Staggard now again, another short kick, and that's another good kick. Benny Muir comes up, right on centre wing. He goes further around the boundary line. McNamara is the target. Fanning's up in front, picked up. Burney can't pick it up, and the ball goes back over the boundary line and will be thrown back in by the umpire.
They're both playing the same game, that little short game out, but both sides are doing the right thing by getting back and manning up, and it's making it hard. They're actually getting it out through stoppages more than anything else.
So Burney front position, Fanning from behind. He actually wins possession of it. Harmer from the front of the contest decides to go long into the forward line. Going to be a crash down there. The picked up there, but Mars read that nicely off the contest. Got the handball away over the boundary line. Umpire says okay, I think. So I can't see the umpire.
Yeah, neither could I, but it's a good issue. They wanted holding the ball down there, but he got his hand to it. It was a handball.
A couple of players were left on the ground there. Rich and also I think it's Will Ford still having trouble getting off the ball, off the ground. Thrown back in by the umpire. Ball from Fanning goes down, picked up. Harmer can't get it cleanly. Quinn had it. Handball's back towards Burney. He can't get it cleanly. Picked up there by Crombie. Got the handball away. And this is Monaghan. Goes across the ground and he will find a teammate out there in Melville. And he decides to transfer play back towards centre wing. Sam Lowe has taken the mark and he goes on quickly. Mark is taken out on the far side of the ground by McGrath this time. So again, they've moved the ball pretty nicely to the far side, centre wing position. Pillai, though, through the middle's calling for it, but he ignores and goes straight down the line. Bellpost Hill with the numbers. Mark is not taken, and the siren is sounded to end the third quarter here, which we'll see Bellpost Hill at 5-4-34 and East Geelong on 6-10-46. Goal kickers for the home side, 1 to Costello, Whitney and Kerins, 2 to Will Ford. And for the East Geelong side, we have 6 individual goal kickers in Crombie, O'Connell, Menzies, McGrath, Andrew and Smith. Take a short break, come back with final quarter action here from Myers Reserve. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
The last quarter, brought to you by Morris Finance.
Three-quarter time, Myers Reserve, Bellpost Hill, where the home side are trailing 5-4-34 to East Geelong, 6-10-46. And just with Dale Smith in the box. And Dale, we saw what you and Grubby regard as possibly the best game of GDFL football you've seen for a long time, certainly the best home and away game. Today, we haven't reached those dizzy heights.
No, not as yet, as I said, and you would hope that something would happen in the last quarter, but both teams are playing a very, very similar game. They both like to chip the ball around. They want to see the opposition fall off and allow them to run and kick the ball down the line, and at this stage, as I said, because they play the similar game, I think they know how to cut out the opposition, so it hasn't been a free-flowing game like we would have thought we would have had. I thought the game may have opened up by this stage, but unfortunately it hasn't been the case. And both sides are really in a game of football with pretty much, I would say, pretty good conditions. We've kicked 11 goals, so not something that you would look for with these two quality sides.
It's been really scrappy as well, a lot of ball ups, just been very difficult to watch. Some interesting players. Mars is a very class player, a lot of the footy setting them up. East Geelong up out of the back line. Rich has also been very good. And I've been pleased with Fanning, who's probably not used to playing in the ruck. He's won most of the hit-outs, but not necessarily to advantage. You can tell he's not trained in that, but he's certainly not letting the opposition dominate, but he's actually been doing a fair bit around the ground as well. So the loss of McLennan was telling, but it hasn't really devastated them, and they haven't really missed Fanning out of the back line, so that's worked out all right for them.
Well, it has, as I said, with Fisher not playing in any part of the game, obviously bowing out this week, it's made their job a little bit easier to cover off, because Bellpost Hill, two ruckmen, as we know,
Warrington and Bernie
aren't excessively big players. Actually, if they stood beside them, I would be as tall as
them.
Yeah. So it's not as if they're competing against much. But as I said, you can only go out there and compete, and that's what Justin said before the game. Is you've got to compete and at least get the ball to ground and give us an opportunity actually to score. Look, as I said, the clearance side. Maybe a fit Dill Whitney in through the middle of the ground, which we haven't seen. We know he's got a bit of obviously a hip injury, they tell me. So it's obviously affecting his game. He hasn't spent any time in there. Yates has been pretty good. Probably the move now, I think, maybe Cola Basley. I know they played him through the half back, but he might be the bloke they need to play on ball or through the middle of the ground if they look like they're going to get themselves back into it to win this game of footy. So that would be one chance or one player change that I'd make in this final quarter, just to get a bloke with his knowledge and awareness in the game to get back maybe one or two goals from middle.
Yeah, they've only kicked 5 at this stage. Grubby, can you see Bellpost Hill kicking enough to get in front and hold on?
Well, what do they have to kick? They only have to kick 2. 2 will put them in front. So yeah,
and they can do that pretty quickly.
And I can see them doing that if they play well enough. But it looks to me, like I said during the call, they're both playing the same game. And both sides are counteracting each other by getting players back and stopping the short game about the centre, and then they've got no one to kick it to, so they bomb it. And I think a couple of Bellpost Hill goals have come from stoppages where your ball comes out, you either get it or you don't, and they've got it forward. But look, it's not a great game of footy to watch. Matter of fact, it's a terrible game of footy to watch. But you're going to get this when both sides are playing the same game and both sides are putting that sort of pressure. Sorry about that. I had to actually go and do some GDFL business with the president, Mr. Neville Whitley. But
lunch.
But look, I think they can. But in the same vein, I just think East have kicked a couple of goals a lot easier than what Bellpost Hill did. I just think a couple of times when the Bellpost Hill blokes have got just a little bit tired, they've been able to get over the back and kick a couple of nice, easy goals. And if they can do that early in this quarter, I think they can go on and win. I think East will win it from here, but don't count out Bellpost Hill on their home ground because they only need a couple and they're right back in it.
The Cats are 16 points down, 7 minutes into the last quarter, Dale Smith. And if you picked Adelaide, they are 79 points behind the Greater Western Sydney on their home dung heap. Go figure.
I'm glad of that because I barrack for Fremantle these days. So
that's good.
and the good thing is Dilla Whitney and Colour basically are both in the centre bounce into the final quarter to start off.
You ever thought of coaching, Dale?
He tried that. They sacked him everywhere.
So we're back in the middle, and it is a final quarter action here. Both players are going into the ruck contest. Ball's down. Whitney gives the handball to Baseley, who just dribbles along the ground, gets 15 or 20 metres. Ball comes back towards the centre. Lemper over the top of the ball. Tackle brought to ground. Umpire will have to come in quickly and take possession. Actually, it's not Lemper now, just getting off the ground. It is going to be Andrews. So,
Billy Andrew.
Yes, so ball with the umpire once again, as we said. So he throws it up very quickly. This time Fanning knocks the ball down. Contest was good. They tap it out wide, picked up there. Staggard got out and out of the contest, puts the ball into their forward line, going back. Mark not taken. Ford takes it. Now there's a holding decision, says the umpire.
It's going to Bell Post.
It's going to Will Ford. It looks like he may have been held out of the contest. Not that I saw it. No. I don't know why they did that, because that is...
Because he's missed it.
But he's only 15 metres out directly in front.
Ford handballed it to him. I think he's shot his confidence he's kicking, and he's just handballed it.
Yeah, but don't handball it there. Go back and kick the goal, like I keep telling them.
Oh, that was weird.
That is. That's a costly mistake to making this a part of the game in the last quarter. But anyway...
That's the one they needed, Smithy.
We kicked 10 straight last week. They reckon couldn't miss. And anyway, we'll let that ride now. So the umpire, they have brought the ball back out, and it's come to the 50-metre arc, and it's gone over the boundary line, so it's thrown back in by the umpire. Ball gets out the back. Baseley runs towards it. Kerins was there with him. Crombie's also there. He got a clean pick up to Lowe. Lowe got the kick back into the middle of the ground. Coming through, picked up McGrath. Ball was tapped out of his hands. Searle didn't take it cleanly. Comes back towards Baseley. Head over the contest high, says the umpire. And he's going in at that angle most of the day, and we've been rewarded 2 or 3 times with free kicks. So Caleb Baseley now with the contest, or with the ball. He goes sideways. Vasurka's out there by himself. Can run if he wants to, but Vesakuru from behind the contest comes up and now stands the mark. So this is where they need to be good. They need to go in quickly, and that's okay because the mark's been taken out there by Harmer. He's on the far side of the ground. The movement forward, wide towards Yates. Got a good pair of hands, and he doesn't let him down. He takes the mark. So again, they've moved the ball nicely over the top, goes towards Mann, getting back. It was a good spoil. I'm not too sure whether he had eyes on the ball then, but he did well. I think it was Melville out there. He's done pretty well, and the ball now in dispute with the umpire coming in to take possession inside forward 50.
North are only a goal behind West, is that right?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen any score. We haven't heard that score.
There was no scores on that app before for that game, so I'll have a look.
So the ball comes from the contest. Baseley again to Whitney. Fends off. Runs inside 50. Left boot. Goes towards goal. And it is going to be touched or marked on the line and pushed through for a minor score. So Bell Post Hill doing the attacking, but 5-6 now. Trailing the East Geelong side on 6 goals, 10. 3 minutes gone. Final quarter. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
I got a text here that says 37-44. West up at the start of the last quarter.
There you go. That's a good effort. So the ball comes out, and this time it's going to be Andrews of the Bell Post Hill side that will take the mark. So they'll go back once again. They're going to have a third opportunity here towards Costello. Ball gets out the back, picked up there. Jacob handballs over to the top, goes towards Rich, picked up there, and it's going to be McIntyre, and he says, I'm going to put it through for another rush behind. So 5-7 now, Bell Post Hill, 6-10 to East Geelong, and we've gone now 3.5 minutes of final quarter.
Belmont 4-5-29. Inverleigh 10-11-71.
And Corio have got their noses back in front of Werribee, 10-7 to 9-9. So it's Bolitho for East Geelong, has the ball in the back pocket, looking for options. Comes outside the square and just kicks it down the line, but that is a terrible kick and it lands straight in the arms of Dylan Whitney. And the beautiful left footer has slapped it straight back into the square. A pack of players go up. Costello's claiming the mark.
That. Yeah, I'd be paying it.
And the umpire has paid it.
He had the first grab and he had the second.
2 grabs in the goal square for the sneaky little forward. He's had
put this one down, you reckon, Grub?
Oh, yeah.
A quiet game by his standards today, I would have thought. But he's kicked 1 goal and lining up for his second. Should have kicked the one a little while ago, Ed.
Yeah,
he had another second. But here he is directly in front, kicks, and that is a goal and a very important one for the Panthers. Takes them to 6-7-43, East a 6-10-46. And the Eagles are just running up and down on the spot at this stage, Grubby.
Well, and they are, and we thought Bell Post Hill could come and do that, but the way the Eagles are playing, they could just as easily kick the next 2 the other end. But when you say Costello's had a quiet game by his standards, I think his standards of getting the ball a lot have dropped away a little bit as he gets older. But the idea for him is now he has to kick 3 goals every game. Well, he's kicked 2, and if he can get another one, that's all you need him to do. So we won't worry about how many times he gets it. If his result is 3 goals, I'd be happy with that if I was Tarry.
So the ball, as we said, back with the umpire in the middle of the ground, and it's going to be thrown up with Bernie and Fanning doing the ruck work once again. Fanning over the top, takes it out. Running player, well, I think there may have been Andrew. He was tackled very quickly, brought to ground, so umpire in and takes possession of the ball. Still within the confines nearly of the centre circle. Thrown up once again. Bernie up and down before the ball got to him, but it's Baseley from the middle of the ground again. Goes back towards the half-forward line. Kerrin's out in front. Can't take clean possession of it. Whitney's there to help out. Good tap backwards. Handball goes back over the top to Fantella. He kicks the ball round his body. Goes back towards the dangerous spot. Rich came out, but it's picked up. Kerrin's got the handball away. Goes back towards Costello. Tapped it further afield. Back to Baseley. Baseley just puts boot to ball. Goes out wide. Picked up out there. Mulville gets the ball back to Lowe. Lowe now picks the ball up and he goes long, nice kick. Jacobs will have to take it and did. So Jacobs now outside defensive 50, has options further down the ground. The kick was short. That was a shocker because it ends up there in the hands of an opposition player in Sable. So Bellpost Hill again looking to bring the ball back into their forward line. Kick went straight back to Jacobs. So one kick was bad. That was probably just as bad. And ends up with East Geelong now taking possession of the ball. Jacobs, a little short kick. Oh, I'll tell you what, they like to live dangerously. And Belay, they didn't let him down. Took the mark, plays on and goes wide across the ground. Sun was in the eyes there of Rich, but he's able to pick the ball up with time and goes back towards centre wing. Vaserka's up, ball out the back, picked up there. Staggard got the handball away, went to Danielle, needs to pick it up. He's got a little bit of time and space on the left boot. That wasn't a good kick. I think, is it going to stay in? It may have, because I can't see at the moment, but the ball has now gone over the boundary line. So Bellpost still an opportunity to set up. 7 minutes gone, final quarter, and it is 6-7 Bellpost Hill. East Geelong 3 points in front at 6 goals 10.
The Circa's got to learn that he's never going to take a mark at that side. He's got to stay on the ground and maybe get the ball on the deck. He's too little to go for those marks.
Throw in Fanning and Bernie. Bernie gets it over the back of the pack almost to effect, but sneaking in, grabbing the ball for East Geelong, but tackled immediately by Danielle is Mulville. And Ben Mulville, that is. He's coming up a little worse for wear. Ball's been thrown up again. Bernie this time seems to have grown an extra leg. He's leapt up over Fanning, whacked it forward, but can't get away, and the umpire will come in and ball it up again.
I thought he was going to go like that then.
So secondary ball up. We're probably just on the 50-metre arc. Bellpost Hill in attack. Fanning this time gets it down, not necessarily to a teammate. It's just been a bit like that this afternoon with the ruck contests. Hasn't been too many hits to advantage, and we're going to have another ball up. Bellpost Hill in attack, and at the moment looking the better side. They're only 3 points down and look to have the energy to come home. But Bernie again, but Fanning this time drops it straight at his feet. Players jump on the top of the ball. Yates trying to use his weight to get through. Slapped forward by McIntyre over the top of a couple of players trying to make space. O'Connell runs onto the ball, can't get away. It's McGrath. He's tackled Bellpost Hill defender there. That's young Vaserka, and we're going to have another ball up.
The only thing that worries me is they've had all the play down there and haven't been able to score enough. Sometimes the other side go bang, bang, game over. Watch that, for God's sake.
Fanning drops at his feet again. He is the first one to pick up. He's tackled immediately by Yates, and again going nowhere. We're going to have yet another ball up. Players are probably getting a little tired of finding it hard to get away from stoppages, so this could get uglier than it's already been the last little while. And it's Fanning and Bernie. Bernie this time gets it, but he hand passes to Lemper. He hand passes away very quickly to Vaserka. O'Connell can't get a hand on the ball. It's Danielle who'll deem to be high tackled. And he's won the free kick on centre wing for Bellpost Hill.
He sort of dived in a bit with his head down then, but yeah, I know it. You've got to protect it, but just be a bit careful.
So Danielle kicks a nice little 40 metres down the line looking for man. Fanning comes through. Mars drops the ball on the way through. Bellpost Hill desperately trying to get it. Hand pass over the back. Comes towards Whitney. Whitney dodges around a couple. Hand passes into the middle of the ground. Coming through is McGrath. He was hit high. Danielle picks up the ball. Gets it across to Andrews. Andrews kicks into the middle of the ground. Punched away from Muir, but coming through to pick up the ball is Baseley. It's Hoare now who gets it for East Geelong. He kicks down the line looking for Zach Smith. Punched away from him. First on the scene is Sam Lowe. He's tackled immediately. Vesicura gets the ball, breaks a tackle, throws the ball onto his foot, kicking down looking for a teammate, but Andrews comes out and takes a relieving mark for Bellpost Hill. Kicks out onto the wing and finds Danielle all by himself, and there was another option with Warrington. Danielle now gets it over the top to Warrington. He tries to break away from Menzies. Gets a kick down centre forward. 3 players from East go up, but it's coming through as Costello. He pushes aside a tackler, fends him high, and it's Hoare from East Geelong who will take right on the edge of the centre square. He'll kick from. Umpire calls play on. Players coming in from behind, but Hoare now goes down the centre wing. He's looking for Menzies. It got a height break on young Vesicura. Vesicura said, so the umpire said Vesicura was held by the arm, and he'll take a free kick. Kicks down the line looking for Whitney. Whitney gets the ball just inside the boundary line. Kicks down looking for Mann. It goes over the back of the head. Pressure from Fanning. Oh, 2 players go in hard. Almost clash heads there. Mann wins the ball, kicks it down in the direction of Ford. Ford comes out in front of his opponent, tries to win possession of the ball. It's a very good job there by the East fullback in Bolitho. And no, it's Helmore actually, and he's forced a boundary throw in.
He really had to get that, Bill Ford, because Costello had run down. And all he had to do was get it, and Costello would have kicked that easily.
So the ball's thrown in again. It's Warrington this time, and Fanning, who's done just about all the ruck work for East Geelong since McLennan went down. And there's a free kick to Bellpost Hill, holding the man, and it will be Dylan Whitney. Gets up looking like he's got a very aching body already.
Yeah. He had that before we started.
Oof, he's going to be a sore man tomorrow morning, I'm tipping by the looking of this.
And I think we can safely say that we won't be seeing the big fella come back from hospital. It's too late for that, big McLennan. He won't be coming back now.
Yeah, so he's gone away to be patched up.
Yeah, there was a chance he could get back and do the second half, but he's not back.
I'd back Whitney to kick this far, but with his hips the way they are, I don't know whether he'll get enough. His kick is going to land at the top of the square. Bodies go up everywhere. Ford tries to get a second grab at it. Can't. Players are desperately trying to get hold of the ball there. It's Quinn, but he can't get a clear possession. And yet another ball up. The umpires have certainly earned their money this afternoon throwing the ball up in the air. It's Fanning again. Warrington this time gets it down. Once again, to no one's real advantage. He gets a second crack at it, Warrington. Picked up by Monaghan, kicked away, but first on the scene
well done.
Is Vesicura, who's played a really, really good game this afternoon, the little fella. And he's won possession again. Kicks it out into the path of Ford. Ford's up, punched away from him very well by Helmore. He's kicked away. It's Muir trying to run onto the ball for Bellpost Hill. Vesicura's first on the line, can't win possession, but certainly causes a little bit of a stoppage. Player thrown out of the way there. The umpire missed that. Ford gets a hand pass across to Muir. Muir kicks long down the line looking for Warrington, and he'll mark for Bellpost Hill in the forward pocket. Quickly kicks into the centre of the ground. Yates can't take the mark. He gets it back from a teammate, snaps across his body. Ball lands in the square. Costello can't
got a free kick, Costello.
Control the ball, but he has been grabbed by the arm, and he will win a free kick right in the goal square, and will do what Grubby suggested. Finish his game very well by kicking a third. And he's even got time for a fourth.
Yeah, and as I say, he's probably only had 6 touches, but Tari will be very, very happy if he gets his 3 goals.
Will Ford coming off the ground looking like he's got a forearm injury that's already heavily strapped.
Will Ford.
So we'll see what's going on there, but he looks to be in a bit of discomfort as Costello kicks the ball over the goal umpire's head and puts Bellpost Hill in the lead for the first time for quite some time. They're 7-7-49, East are 6-10-46, and they have stopped.
Did you see that? How did you pick that up? How did you know that? That's just incredible. Ah. He just walked past Will Ford, and he's got that. It looks like he's got a boxing glove on. His hand is huge. How the hell has it been up? I was going to give that other bloke a couple of votes for playing on him. But how can you mark the ball with a hand like that?
Maybe that's why the drop of the ball has been good.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah,
I can't
certainly
believe
would
it.
affect that, Dale, yeah.
But anyway, back to this. This is where they're in front, aren't they?
Yep. Yeah, 3 points up.
No,
they've done all the attacking, haven't they?
Yep. You've asked me at 3/4 time, Rob, and I said they could, but I also said that this other mob have got just as much. So don't be surprised now, even though they haven't even had the ball pass hardly the centre, don't be surprised if they come back now. Look, it's not a great game of football, but it's bloody interesting because it's so close and both sides are having a go. And they're dog-tired.
So we're back in the middle, as we said. Ball this time over the top. It's going to be one down. Fanning, there's a hold and a decision. It's going to go to East Geelong, I think.
Lemper.
And it looks like Lemper. Yes, it is. So in the middle of the ground, Lemper now with the ball. And it's the right thing to do, hand the ball back and let him go. Ball comes back in the half-forward line, picked up. Crombie got the handball away. Andrews did nicely, got himself ahead in the contest and got the ball out. And now they run the ball. It comes towards the centre wing position. They've got a little bit of time. Ball goes into the forward line. Costello does well, uses his body nicely, looks up, has a plane leading at him. Player out there, I think might be Hecker.
Yeah.
Couldn't take the mark, but they converge on the East Geelong defence. Heckers must have moved forward now with forward coming off the ground. And it's going to be held up. Umpire will say throw up is to take place in the forward pocket.
Tell you what, there's no big pardons out there either. They're still going in hard at the footy.
Only early in the season, but a game that both clubs definitely want to win. And it goes back towards the boundary line and has gone over. So we're going to have another throw in to take place in the forward pocket area. Bell Post Hill again in attack.
So we're deep in defence. East Geelong, their backs are to the wall. They've lost the lead for the first time. It'll be interesting to see how they go here. But Bell Post Hill full of confidence, going hard at the ball. There's a free kick and it is going to Andrew of East Geelong. He kicks out and finds Crombie, who's had a very good game this afternoon. Probably the best of the younger players on the ground, I would suggest. He's kicked and found another one of them in Mulville. That's Austin. Austin Mulville, the left footer, kicks down the line looking for McGrath, and he takes a very good mark, out muscling his opponent there in Vasurka. He's kicked over the back and he's found Zach Smith. He's marked at 48 metres out on tighter than a 45-degree angle, but he fancies himself, this young fella, with the number 88 on his back. I can understand why he's wearing that very loose-fitting jumper, because you wouldn't have thought he was a taut athlete, Zach Smith, by any means. He's going to kick from just on the 50-metre line. Makes pretty good contact. Really, really good contact. That is magnificent contact. It's easy to see why he had the confidence. What a great kick. And the Eagles are back in front. It's 52-49, and we are 17 and a half minutes into the last quarter.
Well, to me, that was the goal of the day. I honestly didn't think at this period in time in the last quarter, when they've been battling their guts out for 3 quarters, I just didn't think he was going to kick that. I just thought, he'll lob it up there. And to me, that was goal of the day. Young Jordan Flaccavento, I don't know what happened to him, but he got lost. And he couldn't get back. But, by geez, that kick will stick in my mind for a while. That was a ripping kick.
Fantastic.
Back to the middle we go again.
He very confidently lined it up. He had faith.
Yeah.
Looks like young Menzies going to the ruck now. So...
Oh, geez, you don't want to be doing that to kids, do you?
Well, ball thrown up. Well, he's not. Their opposition's not dangerous at the moment, I wouldn't think. So it's picked up there. Now there's a free kick being given. This time it's going to go to East Geelong again. And it's going to go back to Andrew once again. So he decides to take the ball and run. He plays on now and kicks low and flat into the forward line. But again, McNamara read that nicely. He will take the mark. He'll go out wide. Fleccavento made a little bit of space. And he takes the mark. Muir now working for him. And he's got some options, but he's hasn't even looked at Benny Muir at the moment. So Flaccavento decides to go a little bit longer. Back towards Whitney on centre wing. He tries to fend off and does so nicely. And gets the ball into his hand. Costello asking for the ball long, and that's the direction he goes in. Long towards Costello. Good hands. Takes the mark. I suppose against Jacob, he's probably a fair chance on a one-on-one situation because he does use his body pretty well.
Well, he is, but Dylan Whitney just put the ball to the left a little bit to suit Cozzy a little bit better. If that ball straightens up only about 3 or 4 inches, then there's a huge chance it gets spoiled. But, by geez, it was a great kick and it was a terrific mark as well.
So Costello now with a chance to put Bell Post Hill back in front. Has 3 for the afternoon and would kick his 4th here if successful. Again, as I said, put Bell Post Hill with a 3-point lead. So we tick over 20 minutes. Kicks on the way.
Look at that.
Tell you what, that has
Look
not
at that.
too much at all. Nick Costello has got his 4th and now the 8th for Bell Post Hill. They're 8-7. They lead East Geelong on 7-10. And we have gone just on 20 minutes. Final quarter. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
Well, I know I harped on the fact that if he kicks 3, Tarr will be pretty happy. 4 will make him almost ecstatic. Because I tell you what, even though he hasn't got a lot of touches, I just have a look at what's happened today, and if Nick Costello doesn't play or doesn't play well, they don't win. It's what he's... I know it's a team game, but what he's done up forward has enabled him to be in front right now.
Yes, he certainly had a very effective final quarter. Had he been aware of that Will forward hand pass, he could have kicked 3 for the quarter. Back in the middle, and the ball's slapped forward for Bell Post Hill again, and Costello is the first on the scene, inspired. Forward's back on the ground. He kicks across his body and has kicked a goal. What an extraordinary...
No, he's missed it!
Oh, it's bounced around.
He's missed it!
Touched. The umpire said it was touched.
Which umpire?
It had to have been... the goal umpire signalled touch then, so it had to have been called touched off the boot. Because no one else was down there, were they?
Didn't see anybody.
So it's Sam Lowe kicks down the line for Bell Post Hill. Coming through is McNamara. Very cleverly gets it over the back to Danielle. Danielle down the line to Whitney. Whitney is well shepherded and then kicks into the pocket. Coming out is Ford. He runs onto the ball first, inspired now by that previous shot at goal. But he's been forced over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. Bell Post Hill 4 points up, and they have it in their forward line, and we're 21 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter, and this game all of a sudden has got really exciting.
I tell you what, if it goes through, it's nearly game over. 10-point lead.
So the ball now into the contest. Yates tries to force his way through. Couldn't get through the other side. Umpire standing there and says, no, it's going to come back to him. And we have a ball up still inside their forward 50. I think the ice bars at Bell Post Hill will be very effective tonight. So I think there's a couple of blokes might need them just to get themselves up and walking tomorrow. Ball comes out of the contest in the hands of Whitney. Quick boot, goes into the forward line, well read and trapped off there. I think that was Andrew once again, puts the ball back towards Whitney.
That's 2 out of 2 now from Andrew.
Yep, so he's going to come back and Whitney's going to do it all again. He's a good kick of the footy, puts it into a dangerous spot, but the kick wasn't well directed and the mark has been taken out there. I reckon that might be Belay though, and he's played on. Been a good game from him this afternoon.
Yeah.
Goes out wide, Mulville. He's got the ball, handballs back inside, nice handball, so they run from the defence now. Looking at their options, over the top to Low through centre wing, goes into their half-forward line. Not too sure who he's going for, but reading the ball player was Benny Muir, and Muir will take some pressure off Bell Post Hill. Transfers play across the ground, and I reckon that might be a Staggart out there on the far side of the ground. So he goes down the line towards centre wing, low and flat. Ball gets out the back. Ball continues to run. Burney tries to keep it in. Has been able to do so now. Picks the ball up. Puts boot to ball. Had a lot of elevation on that kick. And it's going to be going over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in. About 10 metres out from the forward 50. And Bell Post Hill again back into attack. So they've done pretty nicely. They've maintained a lot of possession in this final quarter. Another goal might be enough, Grub, but we just need to get the play to run through. Handball comes out. Quick kick from, was that Rabbis? I'm not too sure. And the ball's...
if it was, he hopes it wasn't.
Either Rabbis or Quinn. I can't see which one it was now, but ball's gone out of bounds on the full. Free kick going to East Geelong in the back pocket, and that's Monaghan. So Monaghan is just wiping some water from the ball. So he now decides to play on and goes quickly, kicks the ball long, back towards centre wing. Burney's in front. Ball gets out the back. Vasurka has played a pretty good game also, and he's got the ball and he's got it back into the half-forward line. Mark will be taken out there, and it has been paid, and Danielle has got the ball. So they're just slowing things down now, Bell Post Hill, controlling the game, decides to go now and goes into the centre half-forward. Man's in front, ball gets out the back, picked up, basically got the handball away, put his teammate in Harmer under a fair bit of pressure. Players converge, umpire in quickly again, and as they should, there will be a ball up at centre half forward position. Bell Post Hill again, and they're attacking into the ground. We tick over 24 minutes, and it is 8-8 to Bell Post Hill, 7-10 East Geelong.
The Magpies.
Yep, they're coming home quick.
So Lowe gets the ball for East. Kicks out, looking for McGrath, but coming through.
Good bounce
for Bell Post Hill and picking up very nicely is Staggart. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Hand pass comes out to Hoare. Hoare's neat little kick over the top. It'll run into for the path of Vesikura. He runs over the ball. He tackles to try to win it back. He does so. It's Hoare follows up, quickly kicks it, but it's gone through for 1 point. And Bell Post Hill will get possession of the ball back. We're nearly 25 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter. Bell Post Hill hanging on to a 3-point lead. It's 53-56. And deep in the defence, it is Josh Andrews for Belpost Hill with the ball. Plays on, kicks out to half-back flank. It's a long kick. He's looking for Yates. He can't quite hold the ball, but his teammate, Kerins there, is tackled, and the umpire said, you had it too long, son. And East win the ball back through Austin Mulville. Little left footer kicks it neat into the path of and finding McGrath. The umpire will pay that.
He'll nearly kick this.
And
he's a good kick, McGrath.
It's Brent McGrath has the ball. He's going to be tighter than a 45-degree angle, and he'll kick from about 45 metres out. He's gone back with a great deal of confidence. Menzies is in the goal square, and he's the only tall player down there that could snatch a pack mark, but they have got, they're completely outnumbered down there.
I don't know if it'll matter.
Yeah, it's either going to be a goal or a behind, I'd say.
Anyway, McGrath comes in, gets a reasonable hold of it,
You could kick.
and it has gone through for 1 point only. So that's a 2-point lead for Belpost Hill now. 26 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter, and on previous numbers, we've probably got a couple of minutes left at best. So East just have to kick a goal. Belpost Hill again through Andrews. Again plays off into the back pocket. Kicks long down towards the wing. Pack of players. No one can take the mark. Comes over the back of the pack for Belpost Hill, trying to get it away there, but players jump on the ball again, and we'll have a ball up for sure. On the corner of the centre square, far side of the ground, slightly in East Geelong's favour. They're desperate. They've probably got a minute to mount something here at best, I reckon. The umpire's waiting to throw it up. Does again. Fanning. He gets over the top, punches it down, but doesn't really go to anyone's effect. Coming through the pack there is Mann. He's dropped the ball. Umpire says play on. Comes back into play for Belpost Hill. Whitney, who's done a very good job in the last quarter despite being in some degree of pain. Gets a quick kick across his body. Down the line, Costello comes out. Yates gets it across to Sable. Sable quickly to Costello. He can't get the ball anywhere. Coming through for East there is Mars. He can't win the ball. Bobbles out of his hands. Boundary throw in, far side of the ground, centre wing. Belpost still leading by 2 points, and we're now 27 minutes into the Morris Finance final quarter.
Ball on centre wing. The ball is thrown back in by the umpire. McLennan, he's gone, hasn't he? It was, he did. Picked up there, and I think it was Hall got the ball back in the middle of the ground. They go in the ball. They've got a chance to get out now, and it's through Monahan. So Monahan now delivers the ball back towards centre forward. In front, Menzies behind. McNamara gets the ball to ground, tries to follow up at the gain at ground level, picked up by Jacobs. He goes into their forward line. Mark required, and it's going to be marked,
that's
all right.
A good mark.
Don't worry about that. And Will Ford's pushed himself back behind the ball, takes the mark and goes out wide. Has Bernie in plenty of space. Now, nothing much ahead of him, so the Belpost Hill way now and go backwards, but he's going to look to deliver the ball, called the play on by the umpire.
Right. You're right.
And he will go back, and Ford will take the mark. Now he's got to go forward again, and the mark is not taken out there at ground level. Ball in, has it been paid the mark, has it?
No, paid him the free kick.
Another free kick.
Oh, that's all right. So it doesn't on centre wing. So now asked to play on by the umpire. He goes low, flat into the forward line. Mark is not taken at ground level. Ball is picked up. Handball comes out only as far as Hoare. Handball went the wrong way, but it comes out towards Sable. He puts boot to ball towards centre wing. Ball at ground level. Player working across. It's Danielle taken high. Free kick. Even I could see that from here. So that's a pretty easy call to be made.
Then stay there for a minute, son.
Yeah,
stay
no
there.
rush.
Soak it up. Soak it up.
So Danielle now with the ball on centre wing. Again, McNamara is now telling him to put the ball further afield. He doesn't want to come backwards, although Bashley's making some space behind the ball. So now he plays on, goes long into the forward line, keep it around the boundary line, going up, and the mark is taken out there by Whitney. Now he's going to take a little bit more time off the ground, off the clock as well.
I think he's cramped.
Yeah.
Or there's a siren.
That is the siren sounded. And it will be Belpost Hill that run out winners 8-8-56, East Geelong 7-12-54, and goal kickers for the home side. Nick Costello with 4, 2 to Will Ford, 1 each to Dill Whitney and Will Kerins. And for the East Geelong side, their goal kickers all individual, and it will be Crombie, O'Connell, Menzies, McGrath, and Zach Smith with 2. So final siren sounded as a 2-point win for the home side. Going to take a short break, come back, and Rubby will go through all what's happened out here this afternoon. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Post Hill, where the home side has come from behind. A big last quarter to win 8-8-56. East Geelong 7-12-54. And a very happy group just walked past us, Grubby. That was one that East will probably be sitting in the rooms going, my God, what just happened?
Well, they probably will, although it was so close all day. They play the same style game and they nullified each other. But you asked me at three-quarter time, could Belpost Hill kick the goals required? And I said yes, but I just wasn't 100% sure that I actually believed it. But they had that last quarter, nearly all of it. It was just towards the end that East really mounted a challenge and almost got past them too. It was a great finish. But as I just thought in the end, and these blokes probably won't get a vote, but in the end, blokes like McNamara, Whitney, Costello, Yates, all the old blokes, they stood up. The young kids, all right, they were good all day, but those blokes kept Belpost in it in the last quarter, and I just don't think East had those type of blokes to be able to do that for them. They still could have won it. They had a shot for goal late, a couple of mistakes by Belpost. So they come around the outside. I reckon they came back in the middle a bit too early, and East took it down and almost kicked the goal. But look, it wasn't a fantastic game skill and class-wise,